The strategy committee that has
Who can second?
there's one
Yeah.
Basically, the 4 people were including
All right. Then we'll include them.
and then the
Strategic committee, Abbas, Rohita, Pradeep. In addition to this one,
Even also was there.
Pradeep was there. Yeah.
By invitation.
Yeah. Kulothungara Rajapaksa, you have to say by invitation.
Yes.
Yeah. So then, can I have someone to second?
I will second it.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Abbas. Second. Then we can go to the anything else out of the minutes. If you have any concerns or anything. Actually, the audited accounts thing. Dhammika can brief us on that one. He had discussed with the accountants. So then on the second page, then many ideas came that we are going through that, and we are doing we had a couple of meetings on strategy committee that we will go. Then one other thing I would like to mention here is we discuss about the gratuity. Of course, I checked up with the previous labor commissioner. She said if the number is less than 15, no need to pay. That's it's from the regulation itself. It provides a facility for less than 15. Of course, that's the situation that I just want to update that.
Kirti, what do you mean by less than
15
Sorry?
people. 15
15
people.
people.
15 employees working, less than 15 employees. In the act, it says no need to pay gratuity.
Oh, okay.
So then we will go to the agenda. Shall I request Abbas, the chairman of the strategy committee, to make the presentation?
Sure.
Yeah. Shall I? I had to make you a co-host. Yeah. Okay. Hope you can see the screen.
Yeah, you might be right.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay. You can make you can make it full screen now.
better, no? The letters are very small.
Yeah, we can see as a side by side screen. Next slide එක පේන්නේ නැති වෙන්න go to that mode. Yes.
Then,
Wait, I think it's coming. Yes. Now clear, no?
now you have-
Yeah, now,
Okay.
now can see.
Hope everyone can hear Abbas well. Let me start.
Okay.
Abbas, you go close to the.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so good evening, everyone. What we will do is we've had a few strategic meetings over the last few weeks, and I think we are in the process of finalizing quite a comprehensive strategic plan. I would say you can call it a 3-year or a 5-year strategic plan for FCCISL. And the strategic plan has been more towards the external environment and what FCCISL can actually contribute and can play a leading role towards the Sri Lankan economy. So I think that has the majority of the strategic plan is on those lines. And how do we go about addressing the key areas of the economy which we feel we can contribute towards, and how do we put up a strategic plan to address those areas and to grow those areas. So that's the whole planning strategy that we had. This plan also has a what we would call an internal housekeeping factor also, which we have to actually put more thought and actually put certain things. But I think if we have the overall strategic plan, the outward plan in place, a lot of the inward things will automatically fall into place. As we go about, initiating some of the projects and stuff, automatically the inward things will have to also fall in place. So saying that, we have a whole lot of slides which you need to go through, so I'll go through it quite fast. If there's anything we can discuss it. There is the final element of the plan is yet to be kind of, that's where we would need everyone's ideas and put certain initiatives in place. So essentially, first thing is we need to come out with our vision and purpose statement. So there were some suggestions. So what we are going to do is we are going to put our ideas down, and I believe President has actually contacted Smart Media to take whatever we put into play. Okay, right. Okay. Anyway, I think we close the video. Okay. So the president has actually contacted Smart Media, who's actually one of the leading annual report companies, to take all this information and refine it and fine tune it and make it into a more appealing document with using the correct words, etc. So basically, the vision and the purpose statement would some of the key points that we felt would need to be part of the vision and the purpose statement would be, how do we look touching on sustainable development, resilience, and effective leadership for the private sector. So these are some of the areas that we want to. So I think the vision and the mission that was kind of drafted as of now is basically drive Sri Lanka for an inclusive and sustainable economic growth in agriculture, trade, industry, and services. And the mission that we could work on is explore the new business opportunities, support the businesses to access the appropriate and sustainable technologies, empower the member chambers and their members to achieve success and become a catalyst in developing Sri Lanka. So I think these are the four thoughts that we have. I'm sure it can be worded by a technical writer much more, appealing in a attractive and appealing manner. That's where we will have Smart Media coming in to basically, rephrase these core areas that we have identified into a more appealing manner. Next slide will be. Slides are not changing. Okay, right. Okay. Okay, so I think we moved a bit too fast. Just give it a minute. I'll just stop the video because I think the video might be slowing it down.
I think full screen mode doesn't support this one or something.
Okay, right. Okay, right. Okay. So this might be better. Okay. So the key we have identified under the key takeaways from a SWOT and a PI matrix. I think we would need to maybe second round, we would somewhere down the line need to do a more detailed SWOT and a performance important matrix. But two key areas which we clearly identified was two strengths that we are not currently utilizing at all. One is our regional chamber access, and through the regional chamber access to the complete business network, which we have got as a strength, but we are not utilizing it fully. And the second point is the global alliances and connections that we have. We are part of so many global different alliances, and we don't actually fully utilize them. So these 2 points have to be taken into consideration when we are looking at our next plan. So here we have identified all our key stakeholders. So these stakeholders are the ones that as we go along, each of whatever we do, it has to be addressing these key stakeholders. So some of the stakeholders, if you group them, it becomes easy to prepare your strategy for all of these stakeholders. So of course, the representatives are one of our most important stakeholders, representatives of FCCISL. So who are the representatives? The regional chambers and members and the industry chambers and members. So these two, we need to make sure that, of course, they are co-concerns, we actually add value to them. That's one of the key areas that we have to keep in mind. Then some of the other beneficiaries, in addition to our representatives that would benefit from our, and what we would like to be benefited, the other micro SMEs, the SMEs, the local industries and corporates. So these are the beneficiaries on and above our membership who would actually benefit from FCCISL's activities and initiatives. Then another part of the stakeholders that we have around us is the support and lobbying agents. So this is where we need to make sure for policy level decisions, we need to make sure we have a say with all of these lobbying agents and support entities. So like embassies, high commissions, ministries, other government entities, we need to make sure these stakeholders we are in touch with and we are constantly in connect with them. And of course, the last and most important stakeholder group is the funding agent. So we have to make sure that we are regularly keeping them in touch. We are making them aware of our activities. We are making them aware of our plans. And we need to make sure that they know exactly what's going on at FCCISL and how they can contribute towards our plans. International organizations, NGOs, regional focused corporates, large conglomerates. So these are all where we can actually look at our funding aspect for all our initiatives. We had the challenge, the most important thing that we looked at was that we needed to make sure that we have, what does FCCISL stand for? That was a very, very critical question that needed to be addressed. So what do we stand for? What does FCCISL do? So we identified that you could have maximum 2 or 3 core areas that we could go and sell and people had to remember. So of course, one of the key areas that we wanted to be recognized or kind of aligned with is we wanted to make sure that we could drive SME growth, MSME, micro SME and SME growth. And that was something where we decided we would like to see the SME sector contribution to GDP growing. So of course, Dilan is working on the exact numbers right now. He will get back to us with the numbers, but we are looking at least 30 to 50% growth on those numbers in the next 3 years. So once we get those numbers, we are going to identify and say, I think we are going to say, we are going to help SMEs by various different strategies to grow their businesses, to grow the overall contribution from SMEs to, let's say, let's say our GDP at maybe in the next 3 years at 95 billion USD. So we are looking at maybe SMEs contributing now, if it's 20 million GDP growth contribution, we are looking at it at least going up to maybe 40 billion or whatever it is. Those figures, once we get those figures, we are going to definitely define this, and every single of our stakeholders, whether it be the lobbying agencies, whether it be the policymakers, all of them need to know this, that FCCISL is trying to achieve this, right? So that's one of the mandates that we're going to be driving. The next core mandate that we discussed was that we wanted to have a bigger global footprint, right? So why was this? Because it's not good enough looking inside, as we have understood. we need to make sure that a substantial part of our businesses actually are looking international, so that we don't ever have to face a foreign currency just like we are in right now. So in that mandate, we need to identify, challenge, enable, and support the private sector to expand its operations overseas, resulting in increase in of export revenue of USD, whatever it is. It could be 50 billion, it could be whatever the amount. We need to identify that exact figure, what we are going to contribute. So these numbers we need to finalize, right? But essentially, this is the second mandate. So we are looking at, especially whether it be the SME sector, whether it be corporates, we are looking at helping them go international, go global. And that's our second mandate. The third mandate is essentially, we want to encourage local industries to expand local production, right? We would like to reduce our dependency on imports. So in line with that, that's our third mandate. We want to look at the reduction of imports by 30%, and that 30% contribution coming in from the local market, local production. So that's our third mandate. So these mandates, I think, resonate very well with all our key stakeholders, key policymakers, etc. And I think once we define these mandate and put those numbers, exact numbers down, we can get a lot of support from all our stakeholders to, in whatever way, even whether it be training, whatever way, we can get a lot of support from our stakeholders. So these are the core mandates, three mandates that we will be driven by, FCCISL will be driven by. So in order for us to show some of these, there is certain numbers that we need to get hold of. Now this will be again where I think smart media will come into play. They'll get these numbers, and we will then finalize on the numbers corresponding to this that we want to play a role in. So whether it's GDP growth, export growth, SME contribution to GDP, export as a percentage of GDP, imports, import parity. So these are some of the key indicators which we need to get hold of as we finalize this business plan or finalize the strategic plan. And these numbers will be highlighted very clearly in our plan, and what we are going to contribute also will be highlighted in terms of numbers. So the numbers that we own are going to be basically the export revenue growth, especially from the SME and the small corporates. The SME contribution to GDP, that's the second number that we need to own. We need to finalize that number. We need to agree on that number at a board level, and then we need to own that number. And the local production capacity. So that also we'll need to figure out a number, finalize the number, and we need to own that number. So in order to achieve these three key mandates, driving SME-led economic growth, increasing our global footprint, and encouraging and reducing import dependency and increase local industrialists by 30%. So in order to achieve these three key mandates, we have identified 7 strategic pillars. These pillars are the blueprint of how we go about achieving these 3 key mandates, right? So these were discussed a lot, these were changed a lot, these were swapped up and down, and finally I believe we decided on 3 key mandates, 7 key pillars. So first and foremost, I think, is the entrepreneurship. We need to encourage entrepreneurship in the country. We need to help entrepreneurs to develop further, to grow further. So under entrepreneurship, some of the areas that we need to address are developing a stronger startup ecosystem, maturing our startup ecosystem. When we talk about startup system maturity, we are talking about funding, we are talking about support, we are talking about soft skills, we are talking about so many areas that a startup ecosystem requires. We are talking about bootstrapping, we are talking about so many various, I would say, knowledge as well as certain systems in place that need to be. For example, even the whole aspects of ease of doing business index, Sri Lanka ease of doing business index, we are quite behind. That has to improve for startups to be able to quickly start up a business and run a business. So these are some of the things that will come under entrepreneurship. Innovation and inventions, increasing innovation and inventions, promoting inclusion, enabling existing firms and entrepreneurs to serve markets that are currently underserved, allowing entirely new forms of businesses and entrepreneurs to emerge. So these are some of the entrepreneurship areas that we need to address through our initiatives throughout the next 3 years. The second one that we identified was the human capital and tertiary education. So under this human capital, we need to look at, of course, for our economy to grow and for us to achieve our core mandates, we need to make sure the human capital is there. If we don't have skilled resources, if we don't have the right capacity, if we don't have the right skill sets, there is no way you can do this. So how do we as FCCISL contribute towards this development of these skill sets and human capital? So that will be the second strategic pillar that we need to address. Right, that would include industry-specific skill sets, that would include global best practices, that would include developing soft skills, that would include developing language skills. So many of the areas would come into this. Then the third pillar would be the innovation, R&D, and digital adoption. All that goes hand in hand. So that is, how do we encourage innovation, especially in spaces that are highly behind in innovation and R&D, like you take the agriculture sector today. I think it would be fair to say, after discussions that we have had so far with even with the ambassador from Thailand, we are well behind in terms of innovation when it comes to the agri sector. And there are so many other sectors also where we are well behind. How can FCCISL play a role?
This one, I have sent you some information also.
Yes.
Under
I think we need to copy that.
Yeah.
So we
Copy and
will-
put it.
yeah, I think that has already been done. So basically, internally within the strategic team, we took up each pillar and the definitions and the areas of each pillar we decided to agree upon. And I think we have got most of this information. I think it needs to be filled in. We'll get that filled in. So we'll fill it in and we'll share it with you all so that you all understand under each pillar what are the areas that we are covering. Digital adoption is also another area where we believe that Industry 4.0 is going to be critical for the country's growth. So that also is going to be part of the digital adoption. Then the fourth pillar is the access to finance, right? That is going to be absolutely critical because you can do everything, but we have a huge issue when it comes to access to finance. I think if you ask any SME or any corporate, biggest problem is access to finance. So that is something that we also need to take as an initiative and we need to take as a strategic plan and develop. So facilitating a NGO-driven high-risk facility, financial facility for MSMEs. So that is one of the areas that we can look at. So MSMEs have no access to finance. So how do we get some support from NGOs or anyone like that to give high-risk loans? Most other countries have, their government has mandated their state banks to provide a percentage of high-risk loans. We don't have that. Right? So how do we do that? Working towards recognizing patents. So one of the other things is every time you want to go, if a company has developed a patent or has some assets value or like a patent or some kind of software, some or something like that, there is no, the bank still wants when you go and out what is the collateral, either land or something like that, what they want. We need to get them to recognize these patents, etc., as assets and basically develop them as a bankable asset. So that's the second thing we need to drive towards. Then encouraging bank towards development loans. I think that's something that's lacking. We need to encourage banks towards giving more development loans and creating a recognition system for freelancers to access the banking system. So when you talk about micro SMEs, you're talking about most of them being freelancers. So they don't have any access to the banking system, right? I know one freelancer who basically used to do a lot of graphic design work and video editing work for foreign companies, and he used to get paid a thumping amount. The minute he got paid, he got some money, dollars being deposited into his account for, I think, close to about 1.5 million or something. He had the CID coming to his house trying to arrest the fellow. So I think that's the whole system that needs to be improved, so that actually not that they get arrested, they need to be recognized and they need to be given additional facilities and encouraged. So that's something that needs to be addressed. The fifth pillar is the policy advocacy. There is a lot of work there to be done. I think we need to, whatever these other pillars strategy that we have identified at a policy level, we need to advocate that those policies go through. So for example, if you're talking about, getting intellectual property considered as a bankable asset, there is a lot of policy advocacy that needs to be done with the banking sector, with the finance ministry, with the central bank. So many areas need to be done. So I think the policy advocacy will be very critical to be able to drive a lot of these strategies. The policy advocacy part needs a lot of work. And I think the good news is I think President has already been doing a substantial amount of work in that area by connecting with so many different, I think he has already had about 10-15 meetings already, because that's important. That's the only way to get certain things done. So you need to have those connections. Then there is the sixth pillar is the local industry development, and I think the one word is missing there, global expansion. So local industry development and global expansion. That was what we're talking about. So we are talking about, I think India has done a fantastic job on the first part where they talk about what is it? They have a tagline saying "Buy India" or
Be India, buy India.
"Be India, Buy India," something like that they have, and that has been a fantastic tagline for local industrialists to grow their business. So I think we need to encourage something like that as well. Of course, we are a small country; we don't have economies of scale in area, but at least those areas where we have industrialists, I think we need to make sure we encourage people to go for, I think not only in India. I was recently talking to one of my friends in Australia, and he was telling me there's a huge drive in Australia also to consume Australian produced items made in Australia. So if all these countries are looking at that, I think it's important that Sri Lanka also has certain initiatives and certain initiatives that we do to drive this. And of course, support business to expand overseas by providing global market knowledge, insights and logistics support such as visas, helping them overcome non-tariff barriers. This I think we are doing somewhat. I think even with our business traveler program, even with all these different exhibitions that we have been initiating, a lot of it is being already happening, and I think we need to continue to do that. And the third point is help connect with global chambers and embassies, facilitate B2B meetings via counterpart chambers, and facilitate international business development through events and exhibitions. Again, I think all these we are very well aware of, and we have been doing it. But I think we need to ramp it up more because the last 3 years, everything had gone dead. So we need to improve that. The last one, of course, is the most critical one, I think, in today's age, Sustainable Development Goals. SDG, it is actually not STG, Sustainable Development Goals, environment and carbon footprint. So I think this plays a very critical role at an international stage, and what kind of our country stands. I think we are ranked very highly, but we need to continue in these specific areas. So how do we as FCCISL drive this SDG, all the Sustainable Development Goals, our environmental benefits and the carbon footprint, how do we drive it? So they are also, so basically the plan is we have 1 or 2 people taking leadership of each of these pillars, right? And identifying maybe 2 or 3 initiatives or new initiatives and driving those pillars. So that for under each area, we are having, every year we are having a reasonable amount of initiatives, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 initiatives. And because of that, it will all combine together and basically will address our mandates, which our developing SMEs, all that will be addressed automatically when these initiatives are automatically created. So somewhere down the line, 1 or 2 individuals will have to raise their hands up and take up responsibility for one of these pillars and make sure that they drive some of these initiatives for each of these pillars. That's on the strategic focus and strategic pillars. The whole thing that this whole slide is all about basically the outward looking and the whole Sri Lankan economy driven kind of strategy. But we also need to look at the internal operations, the best practices and the housekeeping internally. So for that also we need someone to raise their hands and look at 4 key areas. One is to make sure that we have the funding and the financial management is done in a proper manner, and we have the funding to run our secretariat. The project funding will happen. The project funding will happen as part of our strategy. And making sure the communications and public relations is happening. That's very critical. Of course, there we have already got a what do you call it? PR and committee. We already got a committee for that. We also need to make sure we have good governance, and I think that risk and sustainability is anyway taking care of the good governance part of it. And stakeholder engagement and global partnerships. I think that also will have to be, that part of course will, I think, have to be, while the PR committee will be leading it, we also need to have every single person looking at that. Stakeholder engagement and global partnerships, every single person will need to make sure that they play a role in this space. Every single director needs to play a role in this area. So some of the outcomes expected from a successful strategy from our end. So FCCISL feels that this will help the nation, right, to reduce the income distribution gap, reducing inequality in primary needs such as education and healthcare, reducing corruption. We can help rural citizens out of poverty. We can develop an economy where actions and decisions are driven by quantitative data and not just by, gut feel or people who feel like it. A lot of our money effort is wasted in without any kind of proper doing initiatives, actions, projects without any form of data driven or quantitative decision making. It's just done and then you find it's a waste. So that needs to be changed. And of course, the most important part is we need to increase our productivity. As a nation, we need to increase our productivity. So that these are some of the outcomes of our strategy that we feel. Right. So now here we have listed down all the activities. I think this has already been shared by Tilan on the directors group. These are some of the activities which will automatically come into each of those 7 pillars. So there are already, you'll see a substantial amount of events and activities which we are already doing, which will fall into different pillars. Like for example, Sri Lanka Entrepreneur of the Year award is basically comes under the first pillar of entrepreneurship. Under entrepreneurship, like that, each of these events will basically fall under different pillars. So these ones, the next stage, we will have to ensure these pillars, these are all slotted into different pillars, and basically we'll need to add what else that we feel is required to be done by FCCISL to improve those initiatives for those pillars. So these are all the pillars. I think very comprehensive list we have got here. But some of these we are going to do, we have already planned to do, some of these ongoing. Some of these ongoing, already done and to be done in the future. All these will come into that. Right? All these meetings, etc., will be there. I'm going to move on quite quickly. Right. So under the session 2, this is where it's going to be on where we'll need to actually spend some more time once we have got the top part of it more or less finalized. That's I think 90% done. This is where the challenge comes in. Now for each pillar, we need to identify some numbers. Again, you can put words, fancy words, but if you don't have numbers to measure it, it's no point. So we'll need to identify what are the KPIs for each of these pillars. What are the KPIs that we want to achieve? We can't do everything. We are one part of this economy. You can't do everything. We need to identify exactly what are the KPIs we want to have for each pillar. Like let's say entrepreneurship, intellectual property creation, we need to improve, let's say. We need to provide encouragement to local products. What is the KPI? So for example, intellectual property creation, we can say we are looking at least registering 100 new IPs or 200 new IPs next year, or maybe 1,000 new IPs in the next 3 years. So that will be the KPI. So like that, we need to decide on. Now this one will have to be, of course, we will have to put in a lot of thought. We may have to have a brainstorming session to complete this stage 2. We are talking about stage 2. Basically, this part needs a lot of thought and process. So all these, so we have got entrepreneurship, human capital. Each of these will need to decide what is the measurement criteria and what is the KPI that we are going to try to achieve. Right? And basically for each of those KPIs to achieve, we are going to have the action plan and the deadline. So let's say, for example, we want to have under entrepreneurship, we have already got some events which was there already, which we need to link here. But in addition to that, what are we going to have? So let's say we decide entrepreneurship, we want to have some boot camps to help entrepreneurs, budding entrepreneurs, or to help university graduates to start their own business. We want to have some boot camps. That will be one of the initiatives. Then we want to have a startup investor forum. So how do we, so that is another initiative that we want to have. And we want to have a SAARC business linkage to link our existing business with under our global expansion pillar. Also this, so this SAARC business linkage will be it will also fall under the entrepreneurship pillar as well as the global expansion pillar. SAARC business linkage, it will address both, right? It will help entrepreneurs, new entrepreneurs, as well as it will help existing entrepreneurs. So like that, so the stage 1 has more or less 90% been complete. The stage 2, there is a lot more work to be done to define all the initiatives, etc. We are working on it, but I think this is something, the stage 2, where we decide the KPIs and the action plans. I think
can even come later.
Yes, that can come later. For now, we want to prepare a document with our stage 1, which we can take to all our stakeholders, including the funding agencies, etc. The detailed action plan, we will need to sit as a board and decide on what are the KPIs, what are the action items. And I think if we have our strategy right, it will be very easy to get funding, to get support, to get joint ventures going, etc. It will all become very, very easy for us if we have that, in a very well articulated and very well, structured document. It will make life so much easier for us to initiate all of this. And plus, I think if we do this well, we will take ownership. So I have seen that happening in other sector specific, chambers as well. Once no one really knows exactly what to do, right? And then somewhere someone talks about SME development. Now they don't know what to do. They'll turn to us saying, SME development, talk to FCCISL. FCCISL knows what to do. Let's go and get the guidance from FCCISL what we should do, right? So we need to bring it to that level. We need to make it sure that they come to us. For if we want to look at people expanding globally, they need to turn around and say FCCISL is the place to go. They can advise us, they can support us to expand globally. So like that, we need to make that positioning well. And if even a NGO or a funding agency wants some project to happen, they should automatically know this is the place to go to if it's related to any of our mandates. If it's not related to our mandates, I think we need to be careful what we take on, because otherwise we'll be all over the place. But if it's related to our mandates, I think we need to make sure that we immediately take ownership. We are the leaders. Even government should not be making any decision. If there is a policy decision with regards to, let's say, SME development, I don't think the government should ever even consider even making any decisions or policy decisions without checking with us.
Yes.
They should be, first of all, getting our feedback, and based on that only those decisions have to be made. So we need to build ourselves into that position. So like I said, the second stage of making sure the KPIs are done, making sure the action plans are done for each pillar needs to happen. And of course, we also need to come out with the action plan for making sure our funding is sorted out for our secretariat, and also the PR campaigns. Like I said, the operational parts, there are 4 operational areas: good governance, PR, funding, and the stakeholder management. These also we need to have clear-cut action plans. So I think now is the time for each director to kind of raise their hands and say, listen, I really like this area. I would like to carry out some initiatives in this area, and let me take ownership of this area. So I think that is something that we will need to do maybe at the next board meeting, where each director raises their hands and says, listen, this is my area. I would like to definitely do something, contribute throughout this financial year in that specific area. And that's how we will get this done, because I don't think any single person or any 2-3 people can actually do this. It's a very comprehensive, very, very wide ranging plan. So I think every single person on the board, as well as if we can pull in a few key people from outside the board who can take on, who has the passion for any of these areas. Let's say there is a person passionate about entrepreneurship.
I have already spoken to a few of them. We can take it.
Right.
We will have the structure right.
Exactly.
And the inputs.
Right. So okay, I think that's about it for now. A lot more work to be done. So I think I've taken quite a bit of time, but hope it's clear.
Thank you, Abbas, for your passion and the commitment on this subject. Some put up subject. To reduce that one, then I can go. So that is a way to go, really. Even today I was interviewed by LMD. So they are also, like, since we have done this structure, I was talking based on this. Every question they raised, I connected these pillars and how it should be done and what is the way forward for this country. We try to say very clearly here. I think this should be a plan, not for my presidency. This should be a plan for FCCISL, which anyone can continue. But if that is the case, then the continuity will be there. The stakeholders will like this, and funding organization will like this, and we can give, as Abbas said, it is a case that we target one key figure. So this has happened in 2 industries, as for my knowledge. Tea industry, they came and said, the tea growers, we are going to make it the value-added tea industry into this level. So you don't have to worry about the level that you are talking is bigger number. But you know, you say how you go there. So that's what important. So then the number two is the garment industry. They did the same thing. So they got huge recognition from the government. So whatever they say, you know, they had a good hearing always. So now, since anyone do not have a good plan, the government also don't want to hear. So that issue is there. I think, you know, thank you, Abbas, for, you know, detailed work and the support, and all the committee members of the strategy committee, because we have met many times in my office here, a few times in this lot of work. But I'm sure that, you know, if we fine tune the first section, we can go for the profile. I'm sure the Dr. Vijit can give a lot of inputs here. And I have spoken to a few people. They also can contribute to some extent. You know, we'll get their support also, because what happens is, like, if we get more technical inputs and do this document, so then when we go to a place, it will be very easy for us to explain something. The second part, actually, it is our internal thing. We don't have to give it out or publicize or anything like that. So therefore, if we do the first part, you know, then we are there. So then, even as it is, if any member like to contribute in any area, please tell, don't wait till the next board meeting, because we have to do this one fast. I think at least within the next 1.5 months, if we can produce this report and put it out, then at least when you go for the next visit to the chamber, next visit to a embassy, we can give a report like this, and you know, then we can start talking. So thank you again. So for the next agenda item, risk and sustainability. Can I request? Yeah, go ahead, Darshaka. You can go ahead. You know, I made you co-host. You can make your presentation.
Good afternoon, everybody. I just want to add something about this strategic plan. I think it's a very comprehensive and very good one. I think as risk and sustainability committee, we should discuss with strategy committee and try to in short term, like annually, we need to prepare budgets and projection based on these strategies. So yes. Then like we should have a link between these. So then whatever doable things, we should be able to project and put this into a financial plan.
Yes.
I think we should get together and try to prioritize the things what we are going to do. Like then we would be able to come up with the financial projections.
Yes.
And we have discussed with the auditors regarding last financial statement audit. So most probably they will release the reports next week. I think then we will we have 3 years unqualified audit reports. That means any of these NGOs or any donor agencies, without any hesitation, we would be able to present those reports. Because earlier we had those reports with certain qualifications. So therefore, we are unable to present most of these funding agencies with those qualifications. Now, all the qualifications they have removed. So next week we can get the audit reports, and of course when we reviewing the financials, still we are in with cash flow difficulties, but with this new initiatives like projects, we would be able to earn certain cash flows. Shall I show this monthly
Yes.
account?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. can show, see everybody?
Yeah, yeah.
Is this the profit and loss account?
Dhammika,
Yes,
Dhammika,
yes,
can you do me a favor?
yes.
A little interruption. Uh, if you can make it two stages after you finishing this, let me talk because I have to attend that conference. Then
Right.
can you take it up after my media PR sector?
Okay, okay. So you want to start now?
Yeah. Sorry for the interruption. Just go through and just finish. Then again, the other part you can, after my time, you can take it forward. Is it okay? Kirti?
Yeah, you start. No issue today. Right.
Kirti?
Okay.
Then, you start and finish off. Then after that, we can go with
Yeah, I need very little time,
Yeah.
and then I will, because I want to go to that conference. That's the thing.
okay.
Sorry. Can I share the screen?
Yeah, yeah, please.
Sorry, Dhammika, give me
Yeah,
5
sure.
minutes. I will finish my presentation.
Okay. Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, can.
Yeah. This one. Yeah. My PR, I have a developed PR plan based on, within few days, I managed to get this plan partly finalized. So this plan consists the plan and the goals and objectives of the operational plan. The goals, we have six main goals. Then we have a implementation plan. Then implementation structure, monitoring and evaluation, marketing plan. So I will start with the introduction. The first, the upper chamber mission and vision. Now these are our strength and the upper chamber. Now coming back to the plan, PR plan is developed to, I think as Abbas said, to support the strategy implementation. And we have identified these, strategy promoting the public image of the chamber, both locally and internationally, promoting the public image of the country, engage members and keep them informed about upcoming chamber events and networking opportunities, etc. contribute towards the growth of export to other countries and enhancing FDI inflow to the country. So based on these matters, the public relation goals and objectives have set up, and based on goals. So our strength is all our district chambers and other member chambers. So this plan discuss about how we can engage them to achieve this goal. So this is mission statement, the corporate plan. So the public relation plan, we have goal number 1, goal number 2, goal number 3. Like we have goals, 6 goals. We have within the country, we have 3 goals. Now, publicity, visibility, to strengthen the FCCI brand as the premier voice of the Sri Lankan business in Sri Lanka. Goal number 2, enhance representation on locally to strengthen the chamber brand as the voice of business. Goal number 3, take the lead role as a community thought leader representing representative of private sector. Goal number 2, outside the country. Sorry, goal number 4, promote export to other countries and enhance FDI inflow to the country. Strengthen relationship with business and other relevant bodies in other countries. Advance image of Sri Lanka as a great country to live, work and own business. So goal number 1, we have objectives. Goal number 1, publicity. Goal number 1, publicity and visibility to strengthen FCCISL brand as the premier voice of the Sri Lankan business. So goal number 1 objectives are develop and implement updated comprehensive marketing plan. Increase number of people participating in chamber events and programs through advertising marketing. Objective 1.3, bring together internal and external resources to increase the visibility of the organization in the country. Goal number 2, enhance representation locally to strengthen the chamber brand as voice of business. Objective 2.1, to achieve 100% retention rate of the existing membership. Objective 2, recruit new membership and increase the federation membership by 100% in 2023. Objective 3, reach out to micro small business enterprises in rural areas. Objective 3.1, it's under the goal number 3, take the lead role as a community thought leader and representative of private sector. Promote an enabling business environment in the country. Objective 3.2, act proactively to promote urgency of protecting the environment and persuade policymakers, business organizations, and other stakeholders to take measures to mitigate damage caused to our environmental by them. For other goals, it's goal number 4, under the external environment, promote export to other countries and enhance FDI inflow. There are objectives: promote exportation, trade and services, build capacity for private sector to be internationally competitive, enhance FDI inflow into priority sectors to serve as independent data information source in Sri Lanka, Sri Lankan trade and industry. Objective goal number 5, strengthen relationship business and other relevant bodies in other countries. Reach out to Chamber of Commerce and other relevant bodies in other countries and establish a regular communication with them. Objective 5.2, appoint country-specific committees responsible for organizing trade programs that are beneficial to both that country and Sri Lanka. Organize trade promotion programs in the selected countries. Promote tourism between Sri Lanka and selected country. Objective 5, promote information sharing between chamber and academics of other countries. Improve advance the image of Sri Lanka as a great country to live, work and own business, improve the country's internal image among our own citizens, work with government to develop, implement a long-term consistent public relations program to promote Sri Lanka as great place to live, work and own a business. Work with private sector organization to develop sector-specific PR campaigns to promote export and build positive image about Sri Lanka. We have operation plan, but this අපිට පුළුවන් මේ තියෙන objectives අපිට දැන් මේක මේ අපි කරලා තියෙන්නේ දැනට අපි මොඩල් එකක් හදාලා තිනවා. දැන් මේකෙදි දැනට මේ මොඩල් එකේ මේ වෙනකොට මම හිතන්නේ අපේ චේම්බර් එක ගොඩක් දුර ආපුවක් තිනවා. අපි දැනටත් මේවට අවශ්‍ය දේවල් මේ මම හිතන්නේ අපේ කීර්ති හොඳ ලීඩර් කෙනෙක් ඇත්තරම මේ වෙද්දී අපි මේවා හිතන්න ඉස්සලා කීර්ති ගොඩක් වැඩ පටන් දැනට ගිහිලා තිනවා. ඉතින් ඒ ගැන ගොඩක් සතුටුයි. ඉතින් ඒ අතරදී අපි හැමෝම ඉන්ඩිවිඩුවලි සහ as a team මේ ගොඩක් අපි මේ කරපු ගොඩක් වැඩ තියෙනවා. ඉතින් අපි දැන් ඒක නිසා දැන් මේකට අපිට පුළුවන්කමක් තියෙනවා ඉස්සරහට තව මේ වගේ දේ මේක we can improve for in time to come. We can add and improve, but now we have a strategy, PR strategy and PR plan. මොකද ඒ කියන්නේ අපිට relationships නැත්තම් අපිට මොනවද කරන්න බෑ. ඒකට කොහොමද රිලේෂන්ෂිප් බිල්ඩ් අප් කරන්නේ? මොනවද තියෙන බැරියර්ස්? සෝ ඒවා අපි අයිඩෙන්ටිෆයි කරගෙන ඒවට තමයි ඉස්සරහට අපි මේ මගේ කමිටි එකෙන් අපේ කමිටි එකේ ඉන්න දැන් අපි තවත් අපිත් එක්ක කමිටි එකේ තව අපි එක එන මෙම්බර්ස්ත් එක්ක අපි වැඩ ටික බෙදාගෙන අපේ ලීඩර්ෂිප් එකත් එක්ක කීර්තිත් එක්ක මේ බෝඩ් එක අපි මේවා බෝඩ් එක සහයෝගයත් අවශ්‍ය වෙනවා. ඉතින් මොකද මේවා මේ ඔපරේෂන් ප්ලෑන් එකේදී කියනවා මේ කොහොමද අපි මේ කියන දේවල් අපි ඇචීව් කරගන්නේ කියලා. ඒකෙදි තමයි අපට අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ මේ අපිට ගොඩක් මේකෙදි මේක මම ඩෙවලොප් කරලා තියෙන්නේ හුඟක් වෙලාවට දැන් අපිට ෆන්ඩින් අපි ළඟ නැහැ. හැබැයි මේකට ෆන්ඩින් ගන්න ක්‍රමවේදය අපි හොයලා තිනවා. කොහොමද කරන්න කියලා ඒවා දැන්ටත් අපි කතා කරලා ගොඩක් කට්ටිය මේකට කැමති වොලන්ටරි වැඩ කරන්න එක එක අංශ වලට ගිහිල්ලා. ඒතකොට ඒගොල්ලෝ සල්ලි මේකට දැන් අපි ගත්තොත් උදාහරණයකට අපි මේ ඔපරේෂන් ප්ලෑන් එකේ දැන් අර අනිත් උඩේවැයට ගියාම ඒවැය තියෙනවා එක දැන් අපි කන්ස්ට්‍රක්ෂන් එහෙම නැත්නම් IT software federation එතකොට GM Manchurian ඔක්කොම අපි එක්ස්පෝර්ට් පැත්තට ගත්තාම මේකේ මේ ඔපරේෂන් ප්ලෑන් එකේ තියෙනවා ඒ හැම එකම කවුද ඒකට වග කියන්නේ මොකද්ද කරන්න කියන එක අපි මේක දැන් හදලා තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට ඒ ටිකට අපිට අවශ්‍ය වෙනවා මේ ඒක අපිට මේකට ඒ කියන්නේ අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ ඔක්කොම ඒක පැත්තකින් පාර්ට්නර්ස් විදිහට FITIS එක අපේ ඉන්ස්ටිටියුට් ඔෆ් බිල්ඩර්ස් හරි මේ වගේ ඔක්කොම ටික අනිත් තව අපිට මෙතන අපිත් එක්ක ඉන්න සහ අපිත් එක්ක නැති අය දැන්ටත් අපිත් එක්ක නැති චේම්බර්ස් මේ වෙනකොට මම මෙම්බර්ෂිප් එක මොකද මේ ටාගට් එක තියෙනවනේ අපිට මෙම්බර්ෂිප් එක වැඩි කරන එක 2023 දී ඒ වෙනකොට දැන්ටත් ඒ අවශ්‍ය කරන මේකේ දැන්ට ඉම්ප්ලිමන්ට් කරන්න ඕන වැඩ කොටසක් මේකේ පෙන්වන්න පුළුවන් දේවල් ටිකක් දැනට ගොඩක් වැඩ කරලා ඉවරයි මේ වෙනකොට. ඉතින් ඒවා ඉදිරියේදී මේවට අපිට දැම්මහම බලන්න පුළුවන් මේවට ඉස්සරහ දැම්මහම කොහොමද ඊළඟට ඉතුරු ටික වෙන්නේ කියලා ඒකට. අපිට මේ තියෙනවා දැන් මේ අපි ස්ට්‍රැටජිස් වලට මේ තියෙනවා දාලා membership only recommendation from membership for improving අපිට ඒගොල්ලන් තව දේවල් අපිට ගන්න පුළුවන්. මේක අපි තව ටික දවසකින් මේක අපි මේක දානවා මේක ඕපන් ප්ලැට්ෆෝම් එකකට දාලා අපි මේකෙන් හදනවා ඒ කියන්නේ self evaluation ක්‍රමයකට හදනවා. එතකොට කොහොමද එක කමිටි වල තියෙන ඒගොල්ලන්ට අපි එතනින් ඒගොල්ලන්ට මේකට ඩිජිටල් ප්ලැට්ෆෝම් එක මම දැන් කතා කරගෙන යනවා. එතකොට දැන් මේ සමහරක් ඒවා තියෙනවා අපිට committee with representative from Chartered Institute of Marketing to Overseas PR Activities FCCS. Yeah. Now the publicity visibility of brands the premier Sri Lankan objective increase public awareness of FCCS business community develop marketing plan. But තාම මෙතනද අපි මේකට දැනටත් මම මේ Institute of Marketing ඒකලා ටීම් එකත් එක්ක කතා කරගෙන යනවා. ඒගොල්ලන් අපිත් එක්ක දැන් එනවා MOU එකට මේ වැඩ ටික කරන්න අපි දැන්ටත් ඒගොල්ලත් එක්ක ඩිස්කස් කරගෙන යනවා. ඉතින් ඒ වගේ දැන් එහෙම තව කීපයක් මේ වෙනකොට අපි එක tie up වෙන්න officially කැමැත්ත පළ කරලා තියෙනවා. develop marketing plan, execute the marketing plan. We can apply the එකපැත්තක් තමයි marketing plan in consideration the member associations. අපි මේක එක member දැන් මේකේ තියෙන සමහරක් ඒවා එක එක members ඒවට ඒගොල්ලෝගේ අදහසුත් අරගෙන තමයි අපිට මේක කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ. This activity අපිට තියෙනවා ඒකේ marketing කරද්දී මේ PR එකේ තුර under update design professional profile of FCCSL. දැන් මම හිතන්නේ කීර්ති මේ වෙනකොට ඒකට සෑහෙන වැඩ කොටසක් අපේ president උට ගොඩක් ස්තුතියි. මේ president මේ වෙනකොට සෑහෙන ලොකු දුරක් ගිහිල්ලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් මේක ගැන ගොඩක් සතුටුයි. ඉතින් මේ ඒකට වෙනමම අපි thank කරන්න ඕන. Place new stories and press releases to create awareness about the activities of the chamber. ඒක social media වෙනකොට දැන් අපි social media company 5ක් විතර එක මේක negotiate කරගෙන යනවා. මොකද්ද ඒගොල්ලන්ට මේවා අපිට කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. Reach out prospective new member association through targeted marketing campaign. Number of association contacted. ඒකට අපි දැනටත් මේ contact කරපුවා දාලා තින්නේ. අපි ඒවට මෙතනින් responsible අපි මෙතන ඉස්සරහට committee එකපත් කරන්න යනවා. ඒතකොට මෙතන අපිට එනවා partners sponsors කියලා තව කොලම් එකක් එනවා. ඒතකොට partnership එකකට එන්න පුළුවන් අපිත් එක්ක ඕන කෙනෙකුට. අපි ගත්තොත් දැන් මෙතන මේක තියෙනවා website development කරන එක. මෙතන අපේ තියෙනවා FITIS එක use social media and email to advertise workshops, seminars organized by FITIS events, members, prospective participants and wider target audience. Number of events advertised. අපිට ඒ වගේ මේක KPIs තියෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ඒකේ partnership එකේදී අපිට social කරන කට්ටියට එන්න පුළුවන්. ඒකේ partnership ඒකට අපි අපේ member එහෙම නැත්නම් association non member කෙනෙක් වුණොත් එයාට partner කෙනෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඊට අමතරව ඒකට එක්ක තව එන්න පුළුවන් ස්පොන්සර්ස්ලා. ඒතකොට දැන් මම කතා කරගෙන යන සමහරක් ඒවට වෙබ් එකට කවුද ස්පොන්සර් කරන්නේ? වෙබ් එකට සල්ලි ඕනේ නැහැ. මේක දිනවා වෙබ් එක ඩෙවලොප් කරන විදිහ. ඒතකොට ඒකට ඒ ස්පොන්සර් කරන කෙනාට මෙතනින් ඉස්සරහට අපි දානවා එයාගේ ලෝගෝ එකත් එක්ක එයාට තියෙනවා ඒතකොට රෙකග්නිෂන් එකක්. ඒ වගේ මේක ටිකක් මේක වෙලාවක් යන දිගින් දිගටම ලොකු ප්ලෑන් එකක් තියෙන. ඒතකොට within the FCCSL website to provide comprehensive information about chamber, its activity sector. Increase the chamber visibility. අපේ heading එක අපිට ඒක තමයි objective එක. ඒතර ඒකට තමයි මේ activity ටික තියෙන්නේ දැන් අපි align කරලා. මේ activity ටික තමයි අපිට දැන් අපි මේ activity තමයි implement කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒතර ඒකට responsible අපිට අපි මේකට දාන්න මේකට යනවා. එක මේවා specialize අපේ chamber වලින් උත් අපිට අරගෙන තව පිටිනුත් අපි අරගෙන committee structure එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒක මම වෙනම පෙන්නන්නම්. ඒකට අපි PR committee ඊට පස්සේ උඩින් අපේ board of directors ඊට පස්සේ PR committee president ඊට පස්සේ PR committee ඊට පස්සේ ඔකට එනවා මේ තව ඉස්සරහටම එක පෙන්නන්න. ඊට දැන් මේ වගේ තමයි create social media accounts on FB, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. ඒකට අපි ඒකෙදි අපි මෙතනින් බලනවා මේ මොන quarter 1 2 3 මේක year plan ඒ කියන්නේ 2023 එකට තමයි මේ plan එක කරගෙන තියෙන්නේ. So update the social media accounts regularly provide latest information about the activities of the හැමතැනම දැන් මට අපිට තියෙන ප්‍රශ්නේ මේවා කොහොමද කලෙක්ට් කරගන්නේ. දැන් හැම district එකේම goal මේ වෙනකොට මම හිතන්නේ district chamber එකේ ගොඩක් activities කරා පහුවිලා හැමතැනම අපි ගත්තොත් දැන් අද තියෙනවා රත්නපුර එකක්. ඒක කොහොමද අපිට අද දවසේ අපිට ගේන්න ඕන ඒවා ගෙනල්ලා අපි කොතනක හරි මේ through web වලින් මේක කොහොමද අපි අපේ total අපි ගත්තොත් ජැෆ්නා වල දැන් අපි ගත්තොත් මේ බැටිකුලෝ පැත්තේ මම දැක programs ගොඩක් කරනවා. ඔය හැමතැනම දවස ගානෙම මොකක් හරි මේ අපේ FCCSL එකේ හැමතැනම happenings දැන් අද මේ ඒ වගේ දිගටම තියෙනවා. ඉතින් අපිට කොහොමද අපි මෙතනදී මේවා ඒ කරන තමයි අපිට ඉස්සරහට තමයි ඊළඟට දැන් තියෙන්නේ ටික කොහොමද අපි කරන්න කියන එක. Engage e-marketing firm to consult optimize website in search engine response මේක දැනට අපි මේ කියන වෙබ් කරන අයත් එක්ක ඒකට කතා කරන් යනවා. ඒකට යන වීදමට කවුරු හරි අපි හොයනවා ස්පොන්සර් කරගන්න. ඒකට උඩ annual sponsorship එකකට උඩ යන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේ තමයි මේ plan එක structure කරලා තියෙන්නේ. Increase the number of people participating in chamber events program through the advertising. Conduct survey among members. ඉතින් මේක වගේ මේක ගොඩාක් තව වෙලා යන තියෙන්නේ. ඒක ඉතින් මම හිතන්නේ මේකට වෙනමම මේ board එක මේ meeting වලට අමතරව අපි මේකට වෙනමම මේකට මේ අපි වැඩ ටිකක් මම හිතන්නේ කරන්න අපිට කරන්න පුළුවන්. මේ e-flyers ඒතකොට ඒක වගේ තියෙනවා මේ ඒ විදිහට. Encourage member chambers association to send if අද අපි අර ඒ කිව්වා වගේ marketing අපි digital media tie with media institutions to operate promote events through their publication and channels. දැන් අපි හිතනවා අද LMD එකේ අද කීපතර opportunity එකක් හම්බුණා. ඒ වගේ තව opportunities අපිට ගොඩක් දේවල් ගන්න පුළුවන්. අපි ඒතකොට මෙතන target එකක් තියෙනවා ලබන මාසෙ මේකේ KPIs තියෙනවා. අපි කොච්චරක් කරනවද? number of institutions මේක අපි identify කරනවා. අපි දේරනද LMD ද කොයි එකද? ඒතකොට අනිත් පැත්තෙන් අපි දානවා අපේ sponsorship ඒගොල්ලන්ට අපිට නිකන් කරනවද? දාද LMD එක නිකන් අපිට කරලා දුන්නේ. ඒතකොට ඒගොල්ලන් ස්පොන්සර් කෙනෙක් වෙනවා. මේක මේ තියෙන activity එකේ 6 වෙනි කියන activity එක අනිත් පැත්තට ගිය ගමන් ටග්ගල එයා ඒතකොට මේකදී එයාට තියෙන recognition එකක්. ඒ වගේ. ඉතින් මේක තවට පොඩක් උඩට ගියාම අපි එයාට annual දෙනවා මේක rating එකක්. self evaluation self rating system එකක් මේකෙන් develop වෙනවා ඉස්සරහට. දැන් ඒක කරන් යනවා මේක. Bringing together internal and external resources to increase international visibility of Sri Lankan organization. Identify shortlist sectors with high potential. Appoint committees drawn from member associations in selected plan and organize the event. Seek sponsorship, organize the relevant sector. Market exhibition space, export companies will create awareness about for those other activities. Right. Create awareness of the events through Sri Lankan High Commission in the country. Then මම අපේ president මේ ටික දැන්ට ගොඩක් උනන්දුවෙන් පටන් අරගෙන ගොඩක් තැනකට ගිහලා තිනවා. Organize, promote airfare and hotel packages for international visitors. දැන් අපි ඒ වගේ මොන හරි කරද්දී අපිට annual plan එකේදී අපිට කොහොම හරි foreign අපි delegation මේ යනකොට තියෙන්නේ. ඒකට ඒ වගේ පොඩ්ඩක් මේ කොහොමද ඒගොල්ලන්ට දෙන facilities. මේ වගේ දේවල් අපිට decimate කරන්න ඕනේ නැත්නම් අපිට ඒගොල්ලන් මේ අපිට මෙහි ගින්න ගන්න delegation එක මේ ගේන්නවත් එහෙම ටිකක් අපහසුතාව ගොඩක් තියෙනවා. ඔවත් එක්ක barriers. Enhance representation locally to strengthen chamber brand as voice of the business. Provide targeted information to members and continue build and showcase value in membership. We have some programs. ඒවා අපිට එක එක අපි කමිටි එකකට මේ වගේ අපිට දෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේ දැන් district chambers වලත් අපිට පුළුවන් මේකත් එක්ක district chambers වලට අපි මේවා මෙන්න මේවා තමයි කියන එක අපි road map එකක් අපිට නැත්නම් අපිට direction එකක් දෙන්න ඕන. අපේ මුළු total business අපිට එක එන ඔක්කොටම එක goal එක direction එක. The private sector driven economy කියන තැනට තමයි අපි මේක slowly අපි හිමින් යන්නේ. මේ වෙනකොට මේ මොකද අපිට government එක ගැන කොහොමත්ම අපිට කවදාවත් කිසිම විශ්වාසයක් තියන්න හම්බෙන්නේ නැහැ. මේ යන තත්ත්වෙත් එක්ක දැන් එන තොරතුරුත් එක්ක අපේ රටට රිකවර් වෙන්න අවුරුදු 8ක් යනවාමයි. ඒ කියන්නේ ඒ තරම් අපිට ඒ කාලය තුලදී මිනිස් සෑහෙන කට්ටියට ලොකු මේ ප්‍රශ්න වලට මුහුණ දෙන්න සිද්ධ වෙනවා. දැන් මේ ඊයේ පෙරේද තියච්ච මේ ෆෝරම්ස් දැන් අදත් ADB World Bank දිගටම මම මාසයක් විතර තිස්සෙම හිටියේ ඒවලත් එක්ක. ඒ හැම තැනින්ම එන්නේ ඒක තමයි අපිට දැනෙන ටික අමාරු තත්ත්වයක් එන්නේ. ඉතින් එතකොට ප්‍රයිවට් සෙට් එක අපිට අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම ප්‍රයිවට් සෙට් එක අපි මේ මොකද මේ චේම්බර් එක through align කරගන්න වෙනවා අපිට. Conduct regular surveys within the membership to understand wants and needs. Ensure programs services offer to the needs of members. Analyze member feedback. ඒ වගේ අපි දැන්ටත් ඒ වගේ එකක් කරා ඊට ඉස්සෙල්ලා මේ මම හිතන කීර්ති ලීඩර්ෂිප් එකත් එක්ක මමත් එක්ක අපි මේ සර්වේස් වගේ කරා. ඒ වගේ තව එහෙම කරන්න වෙයි අපිට ඉස්සරහට. Member to deliver chamber network programs and services to support members. Seminars, workshops, sim PTs ඒ වගේ කොහොමත් එක්ක දැන් district වලට අපි යන්න පුළුවන් ඒ වගේ දේවල් බලමු ඉස්සරහට. මේකේ activities විදිහට plan කරගන්න. Even invite government authorities to update membership on policy regulatory and other initiatives taken by government. Organize regular sector specific discussion between members and relevant government ministry department. මතන් දැන් කීර්ති දැන්ටත් මම හිතන්නේ මම foreign ministry ඒවත් එක්ක දැන්ටත් ඔය පටන් ගන්න තියෙනවා මම හිතන්නේ meeting ඉල්ලලා ඒගොල්ලත් එක්ක discuss කරන්න. ඒක හොඳ ඉතාමත් හොඳ දෙයක් ඒක කීර්ති initiate කරලා තියෙන්නේ. Publicize their achievement by including annual report. Organizing competition among member chambers based to assess their effectiveness. මේ chamber competition එක අපි අනිත් chambers උත් එක්ක එකතු වෙලා annually කරන්න අපි දැන් මම ඒකට අවශ්‍ය කරන criteria ටික හදා යනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ එක දැන් district chamber එකක් අපි කොහොමද දැන් මේ program එකත් එක්ක ඇවිල්ලා එයාව අපි කොහොමද recognize කරන්නේ මොනවද මේකට කරලා තියෙන්නේ. මේ private sector driven economy මේ හදන strategy මේකට ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ කොහොමද contribution එක. ඒතර ඒගොල්ලන් අපි recognize කරන්න වෙනමම අපි annual event එකක් දැන් මේකට අපි කතා කරන් යනවා විවිධ ඔය funding සහ donor ඒවත් එක්ක මේ වගේ එකදී කොහොමද අපි support දෙන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. දැන්ටත් ඒ වගේ ගොඩක් projects තියෙනවා ලංකාවේ. දැන් ඒ වගේ. ඉතින් ඒක ඒ හැම එකක්ම අපි මේකේ තියෙනවා දැන් මේ ගොඩක් තව items තියෙනවා. දැන් ඒකට මේ වගේ committees අපි දැන් පත් කරන්න යනවා. එතකොට ඒක ඒ items වලට consider business leaders, lawyers prepare framework. Committed business leaders and lawyers to prepare framework and methodology to conduct a dispute resolution at FCCSA. Constitute an eminent panel, retired judges and specialists for conducting dispute resolution. අපිට mechanism එකක් අපි district පැත්ත මේ main chamber එකත් එක්ක අපි එකක් හදාගන්න ඕනේ මේ පුළුවන් විදිහේ මොකක් හරි mechanism දැන්ටත් අපි මේ mechanism දැන්ටත් තියෙනවා අපි ගාව. අපි ඒක තව මේක broad base කරන්න තමයි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ. මේ දැන්ටත් අපි මේ වෙනකොට construction industry එක dispute එක අපි වැඩ ටිකක් කරන් යනවා mediation centers දාන්න. එතකොට ඒ වගේ ගොඩක් ටිකක් දැන් මේ වෙද්දි එතකොට ඒකම අපිට පුළුවන් මේ construction industry එකටත් එක්ක අනිත් ඒවටත් ඒක ඉදිරියේදී පුළුවන් අපිට ඒක ඇප්ලයි කරන්න ඒ අවස්ථාව ලබා දෙන්න. මොකද ගොඩක් වෙලා යනෝනේ නැත්තම් මේ කෝට් කේස් ගිහලා නම් මොන ඒක ඉකොනොමි එකට තියෙන ලොකුම බැරියර් එක තමයි මේ ඩිස්පියුට් කියන ඒවා. ඉතින් මිනිස්සු ඔවත් එක්ක මෙහෙ එන්නෙත් නෑ ඉන්වෙස්ටර්ස්ලා. ඔයගේ ගොඩක් ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා. ඔය බිස්නස් අපි ගත්තොත් ඔය ease of doing business වලට සමහරක් මේක තියෙන දේවල් ඇක්ටිවිටීස් වලින් ඔටෝම ඒවට මේක ඇඩ්‍රස් කරලා තියෙනවා අපි මේ ඇක්ටිවිටීස් වලින්. compliance compile a list of business chambers, association, institutes.
Rohan,
the
can
content
you
that-
make a little faster?
Okay.
Already.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Just
So-
give the key points. Detail we'll
Right.
discuss in a later meeting.
Yeah. So ඔක තමයි plan එක. ඉතින් දැන් මේ ඒ වගේ තියෙනවා. මම ඊට පස්සේ අනිත් ටික කියනවා අන්තිමට. දැන් මට මතකයි අපේ ස්ට්‍රැටජි එකේ තියෙනවා අපේ ස්ට්‍රැටජික් ලීඩර් අබ්බාස්ගේ එකේ මේ මිස්ටර් අබ්බාස්ගේ මොනවද එක්ස්පෝර්ට් ඉන්ක්‍රීස් රෙවෙනියු එක්ස්පෝර්ට් කියලා. ඒකට ඒකට තියෙන ඇක්ටිවිටි ටික අයිඩෙන්ටිෆයි කරගෙන තිනවා. ඒකට අපිට මේ හැම මාසෙදීම අපිට කරන්න වැඩ ටිකක් තියෙනවා. ඒකට වගකීම් ටිකක් අපි එළියෙන් අපි කමිටි ටිකක් හදාගමු. ඊට පස්සේ ඒකට අවශ්‍ය කරන අපිට සල්ලි වෙනවා නම් අපි ඒවට හොයාගමු. දැන්ටත් මම මේ මොකද ඔය එක්ස්පෝර්ටර්ස් ඇසෝසියේෂන් එකත් එක්ක දැන් කතා කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒකට ඒගොල්ලන් කැමති අපිත් එක්කට අයියප් වෙන්න. මේකදී යම් දේවල් ටිකක් කරන්න. හැබැයි ඒකට ඒක වෙන්නේ අපි ප්‍රයිවට් සෙක්ටර් අපි එක ඔක්කොම එකට තමයි මේකෙන් අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ මේ වැඩ ටිකෙන් ඒක තමයි අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ. මොකද නැත්තම් හැමෝම ඇඩ් හොක් වැඩ කරලා ගිහිල්ලා තැන් වල පොඩි අනික වැඩක් කරද්දී අපි ඒක ස්කේල් ලොකු ස්කේල් එකකට යන්න ඕන. නැත්තම් අපිට අපි හිතුවේ නැත්තම් අපිට අඩු ගානේ එක ඉයර් එකක් තව දෙකක් තුනක් හතරක් පහක් හරි ගිහිල්ලා එහෙම අපිට දැන් තිබුණ නැත්තම් විෂන් එහෙම මොකක් හරි අපිට අඩු ගානේ හිතන්නවත් බැරි වෙනවා ඒකට. Dialogue local universities to identify sectors with the exists requirement of strength in the knowledge. මේ වගේ ගොඩක් තියෙනවා. මොකද මේ වචර අමාරු දේවල් නෙමෙයි දැන්ට යුනිවර්සිටිස් එක්ක මේ අපිට ඒකේ මම දැන් කතා කරා ප්‍රොෆෙසර් කීප දෙනෙක් එක්ක ඒගොල්ලන් කැමති අපිත් එක්ක කමිටියට එන්න කැමති. ඒව අපි ඉදිරියේදී මම ඒ කමිටියට අවශ්‍ය කරන ටික දානවා පේපර්ස් ටික ඔක්කොම නමුත් එක්කම. ඒතර ඒගොල්ලන් අපි වෙනුවෙන් යම් දේවල් ටිකක් කරා. ඊට පස්සේ අපි ගියා පහුදස් ටිකේ තැන් වලට මෙම්බර්ස් වලට ගියාම මොකද දැන් අදත් මට තිබුණා මීටින් එකක් ෆෙඩරේෂන් ඔෆ් චේම්බර්ස් ඊශ්‍රායලත් එක්ක. ඒක දිගින් දිගටම දැන් ඒගොල්ලෝ ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එකකට ඔගේ හොංකොං වගේ ගණනාවක මේ වෙනකොට දැන්ටත් ඕක මම කරන් හිටියා අවුරුදු ගාණක් තිස්සෙම. දැන්ටත් ඕක කරන් යනවා මට කරන්න පුළුවන් මගේ ලෙවල් එකේ. ඒකට ඒ හැම එකකදීම ප්‍රශ්න තියෙන්නේ අපි කියන කීර්තිලා අපි ගියපු මීටින් වලත් කිව්වේ කොහොම හරි ඒකට මොනවාරි සර්වේස් බිස්නස් ස්ටඩීස් කරන්න ඕනේ රිසර්ච් කරන්න ඕනේ. දැන් අපිට රිසර්ච් කරන්න විදියක් නැහැ. දැන් මම මේකට දාලා තියෙන ඇක්ටිවිටි එකක් මේක දැන් එක තැනක ඇති. ඕකේ තියෙනවා දැන් ඒක මම කතා කරා යුනිවර්සිටි ඔෆ් කොලම්බෝ එක. ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ රිසර්ච් කරන ටීම්ස් අපිට ළමයි ටික දෙන්න කැමති. අපිට ඕන ටාගටඩ් රිසර්ච් මොකද මාකට් රිසර්ච් කරන්න. ඒක ඒතර ඒ කමිටිය මෙතන රෙස්පොන්සිබල් මේ අපි කමිටි එක අපොයින්ට් කරනවා. ඒකට ඒකට ඒ අවශ්‍ය යුනිවර්සිටි කොහේ හරි එකක් එක්ක අපි ඒකට පාර්ට්නර් වෙනවා. ඒකදී අපි ඒ ඇක්ටිවිටි කරනවා. මොකද දැනට නැත්නම් අපිට මේවා අපිට තියෙන ඉලක්කය ඉතාමත් මේ අපේ රටේ තත්ත්වය දරුණුයි. අපි ඉලක්කය ඉතාමත් මේ ප්‍රයිවට් සෙක්ටර් එක එකතු වෙන්නේ නැත්නම් මේක කොහොමද තව ටික දවසක් ගියාම අපිට මේක කතා කරනවත් අපිට මාස 6-7ක් යනකොට මම හිතන්නේ ගොඩක් අමාරු තත්ත්වයකට පත් වෙයි විශ්වාසය විදින ගියොත්. Develop database, develop web-based information database software application from Spain record data and statistics as when required. So design and computer assets registry of the country. මේකදී බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ දැනට මේ asset එක මොකද මේකදී දැන් ඉස්සරහට අපි යන්නේ ගොඩක් digital කියන්නේ financing digi finance කියලා කියනවා. එතකොට අපිට currency කොහොම digital asset base එකට අපි convert වෙන්න ඕන. එතකොට ඒක තමයි අපි මේ පටන් ගන්න යන්නේ. ඒක government එකත් එක්ක CCSL එක පටන් දැම්මම මොකද අපේ රට අපි ඒකට අපි මොකද digital value එක digital asset එකක් අපි create කරන්න ඕන. සමහරක් වෙලාවට මොකද දැන් අපේ අබ්බාස් කිව්වා මොන sustainable net zero කියන එකත් මේ කතා කරලා තියෙනවා. මොකද net zero ඒතකොට digital value එක වැඩි වෙන්නේ මේ asset value ඒක තමයි. ඒකට අපිට ඕක foreign අපි ඊට පස්සේ අපිට ගොඩක් දුරට ඉස්සරහට loan එකක් කියන්නේ ඒක මේ physical asset එකක් නෙමෙයි. ඊට පස්සේ ඒක නිසා අපි එතනට මේ අපේ vision එක සහ අපේ align කරන්න ඕනේ. then the relationship between the right okay මේ වත ගොඩක් තියෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ දැන් මේක අපි කතා කරොත් right academic students of the countries established community universities from selected countries. දැන්ට ඉන්දියාවත් එක්කම කතා කරලා තිනවා. ඉන්දියාවේ යුනිවර්සිටිස් කීපයක් චේම්බර් එකත් එක්ක ඉදිරියේදී එන්න කැමැත්තෙන් ඉන්නවා. ඔෆිෂියලි tie up වෙන්න. ඒකදී අපි බලමු කොහොමද ඒවා එන්නේ කියලා ඉදිරියේදී. Facilitate academic partnership between those universities and Sri Lankan universities. දැන්ටත් මේක වෙනවා. ඊට අමතරව දැන්ටත් අපිට චේම්බර් එකටත් අපිට සෑහෙන දෙයක් කරන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද commerce and trade scientific පැත්ත ඒතකොට මේ පැත්ත අපිට තව චුට්ටක් අපිට මේ trade development සහ මේ තියෙන entrepreneur පැති වලට අවශ්‍ය වෙනවා ඒගොල්ලෝගේ establish communication with diaspora groups Sri Lanka expats selected countries. මේකට දැනටත් මම meeting දෙකක් කියලා තිනවා. මේ දැනට retired foreign diplomats එක්ක ඒගොල්ලන් කැමති දැනටත් ලංකාවේ තියෙනවා එක institute එකක් Institute of Foreign Diplomat institute එක දැනට ලංකාවේ කීප දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. දැනට කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා ඔය hotel owner කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. ඒ වගේ හොඳ diplomatic මේ diplomats ඉන්නවා. දැනට ඒගොල්ලත් එක්ක කමිටියක් මම දැන් දාන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. මේ සමහරක් වැඩ ටිකට. මොකද අපිට අපේ තියෙන foreign image එක ගොඩක් nasty වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒක මේ බොහොම අමාරු ටික අපේ චේම්බර් එක සිද්ධ වෙනවා. ඕක build up කරන්න private sector එකට develop වෙන්න ඕන නම් ඉස්සර මොකද ආයි government එක පැත්තෙන් අපිට ඕක බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්න අමාරු වෙයි ඉස්සරහට. මොකද තව ගොඩක් ගත්තොත් තමයි ගොඩක් තමයි තියෙන්නේ. මේක තමයි implementation plan එක. මම මේක දැනට finalize කරලා නැහැ. මේක මොකද කීර්තිත් එක්ක අපි discuss කරලා මේක
actually
මේක නම් ටික finalize කරන්න මේ කවුද කියන එක මේ committee එකට මට ඇත්තම committee එකට මට මේ committee එකක් මේ මොකද PR එකේ cross section මොකද නැත්තම් තියෙන target එකත් එක්ක අපිට යන්න අමාරුයි. මොකද ඒකට මට අපි කීර්තිත් කතා කරලා ඒකට අවශ්‍ය දේ කරගන්න අපි plan කරගමු. අර මං කිව්වා වගේ main committee public relations steering committee committee for publicity and strengthening brand of SCCISL responsible enabling SCCISL අපි අද goals එක ඔක්කොම මෙතන දාලා තිනවා අපි මේකට කියනවා අපි මේකත් එක්ක මේක කරන්නේ මේ stakeholder engagement policy එක plan එක මේක total stakeholders අපිට මේකට මේ ඒ policy එක සහ මේකේ stakeholder alignment එකක් අපි කරලා තිනවා එක sectoral විදියට මේ committee for advance image total එක main committee sub committee total steering committee projects වෙන්න පුළුවන් sectoral based on එක අපි sectors ගත්තොත් ගොඩක් තියෙනවානේ business commercial industries ඒ වගේ. එතකොට board of directors steering committee external committee external relation plan implementation international relation committee sectoral committees මම අර ඉස්සර කිව්වා වගේ මෙතන project committee කෙනෙක් මෙතනට එන්නේ නැහැ. goal number 1 මේ sub committee නැත්නම් working committee නැත්නම් task force එක task වෙන්න පුළුවන් අපිට එක විදිහට ඉතින් ඉන්ඩස්ට්‍රීස් වල ස්පර්ට් ලාගෙන ඉන්ඩස්ට්‍රීස් වලට යන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේ එකක් තමයි මේ අපිට මේක තමයි මොඩල් එක මම ඉම්ප්ලිමන්ට් කරන්න යන්නේ මේ දිගින් දිගටම ඉස්සරහට. and monitoring and evaluation මේ indicators එක තියෙනවා. එතකොට data collection visualize and this is what I am going to do is මේක පස්සේ එනකොට මේක අපි digital කරන්න යන්නේ. එතකොට ඒකෙදි ටිකක් ඊළඟ මේක පොඩ්ඩක් දුර යද්දි මේක දැන්ටත් අපිට ඒකට ඕන platforms එකක් අඳුරගෙන ඒක කරගෙන යනවා. මේකෙදි මේක කියනවා stakeholder engagement plan කියලා management strength stakeholder relationship. එතකොට ඒ විතර අපි ලියලා තියෙනවා ඒකේ කොහොමද අපි කරන්න කියන එක. stakeholder engagement plan මේක template දැනට මේකදී government stakeholder private
පස්සේ කතා කරමු රුවන්. I think
right sorry මම ගත්ත නම් කාලේ
time.
ඔව් support එක ඕන ඔකගෙම මේක කොහොම හරි මම මේක කරලා පෙන්නනවා. Thank you.
Sure. Very good, excellent program. I think probably Abbas has to buy something from him.
No, why can't he buy from him?
Strategy also there. No, I think, in year one, you have gone, into detail and, that's good. But only thing is like right now we will have a basic plan. And after that, we will have the detail plan. If we go with too much detail plan, we will not have resources to do, because that's my worry right now. I think, but, you're right in saying, that you can get outside support. This is the best time that, you can get the support from universities, professional organization that is there. Like Slim, I also spoke to them. They are willing to come with us. And support us. And, I said, you're like, one of these days, one lady and, two guys came on TV and, mentioned that, Sri Lanka has never done any branding for Sri Lanka. I said, that we understand. Okay, what are you going to do? So we will come and help you because we have a regional database and of course, they are also members. So they agree. I think, there are a lot of synergies can work together now. That's the good thing because now everyone has realized individually they cannot achieve anything unless if you cooperate, collaborate and do it. So that advantage we can take it for sure. So here we will, this plan fine, but we will have a basic plan, for the first year we will run like this. And on the improvements, we'll go to the next step kind of a thing. Ruwan, I think that's my advice because if there is too much of detail, even to go through that one, you will need a lot of time and effort and human resources and all that, which right now we don't have. So anyway, it's excellent work. That is the kind of passion we need. I think you are too passionate now. So that's the way to go.
Not only passionate, I am.
That-
I have started.
No, passion is not about
way.
not only being passionate. If you don't have passion, nothing will go right. So
Yes,
you
yes,
have to
true.
be
Thank
a
you.
positive thinker. That's number one. Then the passion comes
Thank you.
as the key thing together. If these two are not there, so nothing you can move. So
Thank you.
like, this has to be the case. And thank you very much, Ruwan. So we will, I think, probably if you can share this also, we can see with the strategy also, I think we are overlapping or something like that. So which we can fine tune and take it. Yeah. Thank you, Ruwan, for the.
Thank you.
yeah.
I will work this out. Give me a support. I will definitely. I will show you
Okay,
results.
right.
Thank you.
Right. Now, I think, before Dhammika start the presentation, so let me just get approval because since all the members are here right now. So we are, I think today in the daily FT, I will share the link also with you. I'll share the article also with you that we are trying to do the coaches certificates we are going to award on the 12th. So that's the project that, you know, we have been doing with FYG. The idea was the FCCISL to be the certificate awarding institution. And of course, it's the idea is not only for the hotel trade, you know, we can develop with other trades and, you know, do this as a model, and, you know, it's a income generation project also. Now, so like, I mean, it was suddenly came to a standstill, but anyway, I went, I spoke, I did a lot of things, you know, they came here. Tilan helped a lot, because when he can't do, I never abandoned this, because what happened is there was a lot of pressure from their side also to do faster. But somehow now we have come to the final thing now. So they decided that, you know, they will give the first set of certificates on the 12th. So there I need to, because this the first set of coaches already trained by them, because they are the people who have been used in the different hotels, the first implementation project. So therefore, they are knowledgeable, you know, their criteria has been selected. Actually, you know, the level 1 coach is, they need basic 50 hours learning and practical experience and 5 years ground level or kind of experience is required. And the level 2 business coach has 2 levels. This is a certificate level. If that's a professional guy, you know, the board can consider whether we can treat him at the intermediate level as a coach. The other ones are, you know, 100 hours and 10 years experience, goes like that. Then the level 3 is called master coach. You know, they should have 150 hours experience, and, you know, they should have professional qualifications as well. So that's the kind, you know, that they will recommend for this. Now we have selected the board. You know, out of the board members, I have included Abbas, Dr. Rohita, and Tusita. Tusita I have included. Then I have included Mr. Sainapis, Nihal Pure, that he, you know, that you know, those people who have been involved with us at the Industry 4.0 initiative. So they are there. So they are the people who will take the decision. But on the first one, you know, I wanted to tell on the 9th, they are planning to have a meeting. You know, they can conduct a meeting. I said it will be difficult for me to get down people physically. I suggested to have a online meeting at 10 o'clock on the 9th. So then they can explain, you know, what this project is all about, you know, what are they going to do, what is the responsibility of the board and things like that. So what I want right now, the board approval is to initiate the first set of coaches to be given the certificates on the 12th, to approve that one. And their certification guidelines, all the details, we will give it to you on the next board meeting, because since they are already fixed the date with the Australian High Commissioner, they wanted to do this, you know, it's good for us also. So therefore, I request the board to give me the consent for that. Then after that, we will give you the details. But hereafter, you know, all the people who's applying will go through the marking system they will do. Later, I think we have to develop the skills within the federation. And then after that, we will recommend, we'll put the papers to the board. The board will recommend whether he is a level 1 or level 2 or academic or master coach or whatever. So then on the recommendation, the board will give the consent. So that's the process. Since most of them are online, can I, if anyone has objection or need clarification, please ask me, then I can do it.
It's fine by me. I mean, you can go ahead. I mean, it's what we were looking for, no, to do.
Yeah, this is part of the project actually, yes.
Yeah, we are continuing the project. I mean, thank Keith, you have taken it back. We were almost wondering whether we lose it. Anyway, Keith, just
almost in the verge of losing, but you know, somehow we again recovered that.
So I think we are lucky. And
Yes.
just for my information, how many certificates will you be able to give by on the 13th?
On the first day, because they have asked all the people who has already got the training to apply. Out of that
Mhm.
one, the last meeting when we had, he said 9 people already applied. Is that
I see.
right, Tilan? 9 people, no? 9 people. I think probably about 15, 20 people we will have maximum, not more than that.
Right.
Because
And we'll be charging 25,000, is it? Is that?
we are charging the level 1 coach 5,000, level 2 10,000, and the level 3 15,000.
All right.
So once we establish this one, and when we get the credibility, I think probably we can increase the prices later, because they also suggested that no need to have very expensive amounts there, because still the industry is not really come back on business. So that's the reason that they also indicated. But we will go like this, and later when we get more people, and they also get business from the hotels, then of course surely it's a good time to increase. But right now, whatever we do, we also should be a bit mindful. We should not overcharge anyone. But I'm sure this will be a very good combination for the coaches as well as for the hotels.
Yeah,
The
true.
coaches will have a huge opportunity to work in different small hotels, which they can earn a good income. So then
Yes.
I don't see any reason why they should not take the. But of course, I suggested them we will publicize the coaches levels and all that on our website, and digitally we will give information. And I already created the QR code. There when you scan, it will read as so and so Kirti Gunawardena, level 3 master coach or something like that. So that's
And-
that they, yeah.
And are we doing coaching as well through the federation?
Actually, they have got 15 organizations, including some universities, all that. We also can do. Of course, that time this we have to put it separately. But if you want to be a training organization, we can do that. Actually, the training modules, videos, everything is available.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Good. Very good.
Okay. Thank you. Then we will take this as approved by the board. Then shall we to the any other thing that we have to get the one other thing. We have a request from the Sri Lanka Standard Institution, the Sectorial Committee on Material, Mechanical Standards and Manufacturing Engineering, for that to appoint one person from the Federation. This is the one, that Dr. Rohita was mentioning, that it was appointed and it has not gone to SLSI. Can I have the formal approval from the board that we will, get Dr. Rohita to, represent the FCCISL?
I think a letter came to me also and I sent it to you, no?
These the same letter, surely. These what I am taking up, but better to take it up at a board level and proceed. No, otherwise, just you can't. Yeah.
I thought of Rota because they had said with an engineering background, because he has an engineering kind of.
Yes, correct. Yeah. So then no objection. I will carry that also. Then after that, we will go to Dhammika. Dhammika, you can make your presentation. You can do it as fast as possible. I think we are.
Yeah, actually, monthly accounts we got 2.9 million income, and then we spend. We got 2.4 million income, and we spent 2.9 million. So that means 500,000 loss for that particular year. This is the I'll show the budget cash flow for the month of October to December. Can you see what?
You can
Cash
increase
flow.
the size a little better. From the side, you know, if you increase the percentage wise,
Yeah, we do.
oh, that's fine. Yes.
We got 600,000 income and then cash outflows, that is payments to be made. Total commercial bank loan, EPF, lawyers fees, electricity, audit fees, like that. Total amount in 2.7 million.
Yeah.
We got net deficit 2.1 million.
The reason here also, Dhammika, some of the payments are not relevant to this month, you know, for toll
Yes.
bills also being settled. Example, Mr. Gopalan's one was years old, you know, like, I mean, we are trying to settle as much as we can do. So
And this
otherwise, what happens is
graduate-
we've been carrying, you know, too many checks here which are already written. You know, that's why I wanted this cash flow to do, because otherwise we don't understand the real situation.
And gratuity, we are not, it's no any, right?
No, I checked up with them.
And,
No need. If there is less than 15 people, no need.
remove from this, no? You would say, right?
Yeah, that we can remove, but all other things I think remains there.
Yeah,
Other
yeah.
than
Then, once it's removed, it's about 1.4 million, no?
Yes.
Yeah, it's about roughly 1.4 million. There, that's an urgent payment, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
So
the
as
next thing is where the rent, the building rent agreement also we have to renew in December. Yeah.
Are
So
we
that-
supposed to pay any key money or anything for that?
No key money, but only thing is she didn't. I said, you know, what's the new rate? You know, she was telling, you know, that, you know, she has to revise the rate. But anyway, let her come back. Probably we can bargain. You know, as it is, the rents has never gone up.
Yeah, I think,
No, she whatever said and done, good landlord. You know, like, I mean, all the time she was very tolerant and
yes, yes.
150,000 rent brought down to 75,000. Now also
Yeah.
she's charging only 80,000 per month. No, Tilak? Yeah. So it's not expensive, I think, very reasonable.
Yeah, all the time she gave concessions,
Yes.
no? One. I think in short term, we should be try to
Actually, now as it is,
get more and more revenue PR plans. I think we should be able to get the big projects, but in short term, we should be try to get certain cash flows, no?
yeah,
That's
because I want to you know, talk to FNF and see whether we can do a program like which we did before. Yeah, you know, take some decision making guys, politician and the business community together and key persons forum or something like that. If we can do something like that, probably we can get the cost recovered from them. But we can give some free tickets. You know, that was the model even followed before. And some tickets we sell. So the ticket what we sell, we can take the money. But they like, I mean, say if there is 100 packs, they will give for 100 packs, hotel, all that, the fixed cost they will reimburse. Out of that one, so if we don't have to give all 100 free, so we can
Yeah.
sell part of it, maybe about 50-50 if we do. Say about 2,500 if you charge for an event like that, evening event. Sometimes some business people can come, and we can promote the people who's having business issues also to participate there, because then they can address the issue with the minister, the secretary, down the line, the key people in that. I think we can plan nicely if we have this kind of projects, because it will be very useful for the business
Yeah.
people also. Now, in the case of approvals, for example, BOI,
Yeah, yeah,
so many issues, like, I mean, if we can iron out one or two, then and there, get an answer from the decision maker. So then even if they don't do it, we have, then we can take it up with the president level, prime minister level and all that also. So
Yeah,
then we can actually, then only the FCCISL will be recognized by somebody, because we are doing some work.
yeah.
So that that we will do. Those are the things
and-
that
and,
I have in mind. Yes.
Another thing is like National Chamber, Ceylon Chamber, they had a tie-up. They tie up with last time Bank of Ceylon, and they did all the regional chambers certain projects. Likewise, if we can get one of the big bank and tie up with them and do some sort of SME development or anything, so then they will allocate one budget for
Yeah, sure.
this. So
Time to do that.
mm,
Also, NDB bank can see
I think Ceylon Chamber they did with the Bank of Ceylon. I can't remember. Yeah.
No, actually, to go to grassroots, Prestige Bank of Ceylon, now People's Bank.
Yeah, they did. They for the People's Bank, they don't have any affiliation or anything with the
No, I can.
chambers. Maybe we'll we can talk to the Rajapaksha, no, Sujeeva.
Yeah. So talk and see, but only thing is, like, I mean, they also have a lot of concerns right now. They are-
Especially this present time, no.
Yeah. But whatever it is, they also has to support the small and
SMEs, no?
medium SMEs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So therefore, I think going with the People's Bank or Bank of Ceylon is the most sensible and sensible one.
Yeah.
Even from both sides, even for FCCISL as well as for the bank, both.
Yeah.
We will do that. You have any other ideas to give? So we'll make a note of those.
And
also.
the other thing is what about this land? What we are going to do this gold land? Any?
Yeah, gold land, that lady recently also called me. She said, Mahatya ayate misu gewal wala inno and all that. So of course, we spoke the other day, that our friend Lion guy, he said he will do everything, but we could not write the letter also to the gold chamber.
Yeah, just send a letter, then he can do the needful. And in the meantime, we with strategy committee and we'll try to something about this land, no, maybe project or getting any income out of that or something we can do, no.
Can we rent it out or do something?
Yeah, something we have to work it out, no. So then at least we can get something.
Yeah. No, the thing is, that this guy idea was correct. Like, I mean, if you clean the whole place and fence it, then that will be the best thing.
Yeah.
But that again will cost a lot these days.
These days.
Anyway, we will check with what's his name, Dhammika?
Jayamini Senaviratne. Yes.
That's
that
right,
guy.
Jayamini. We'll check with Jayamini and ask him to give a quotation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we can put it to the board and if we can manage somehow. I think better we do it, rather than
Yes,
just
yes,
letting the squatters to be inside. That's too dangerous. Also,
Yes. Yes.
we will do that. Yeah.
And,
The
we need-
other one is the Kalutara Training
Kalutara,
Center. Yeah. I spoke to few people, if we can get some funding organization to help. Actually, this ILO lady also, she said, she will visit with us. Yeah, I spoke to him also. He said right now they are little short of funds. But he said, even we have to take him also. I think probably we will do something like this, Dhammika. We will take him
Okay.
and the ILO lady together and can go with few directors and do a inspection and of course the Damini Saparamadu Kent, he is also very
Kent.
keen, he told me many times. I said, okay, next time when I'm going, I'll take you also, I said. So if another chamber is going to help us, CNC or whatever, it doesn't matter for us because whatever at the end of the day, the results will go to the youth of this country, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know whether COIL give any contribution for that. It is youth because COIL representing the youth, no?
Yeah, COIL, of course, we will check and see. We'll talk to, we'll ask Rohit to,
Dr. Rohit.
their meeting, yes.
So I think anyway, we need to get more and more short-term funding, no, like projects or small projects, and gets just to cover the cash flow, 4 to 5 lakhs per month at least.
And of course, if we can have a couple of events, and in relation to that event, if we can get a sponsorship somehow, say about 2 million or something like that. But right now the issue is, getting funding also not that easy. But of course, if we have time, then we can do something. We can talk to some people and see.
Another thing is, since we visited, I think several embassies.
Yeah.
If we can, support to businessmen to get their visas and arranging certain trips to those countries for the business purposes, then we can charge something from the.
I also have a few things to share. I think I will take it up at any other business.
So I think that's regarding finances. So
then can we fix a meeting, the EC meeting and the EGM in about 1 month's time, or
most probably
or shall we put towards the end January?
Like after 15th of January, yeah. So
what is the best date? Still on Friday, is it? Yeah. Friday, 20th Friday, 27th Friday.
27th Friday. Yeah.
Better 27th. No, then we can sort it out, all the accounts and calculate and all that. Yeah.
Yes.
Then we'll take it 27th. Yeah.
EGM and EC meeting, right?
Together, yes. That will be on Zoom, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Dhammika, for the presentation and the support. Yes, sir. Yeah.
I got little late to connect for the meeting.
Yeah, Darshika. You have anything to share?
Yes, Indonesian ambassador was here with us.
Yes. Just give us a brief on that.
Yeah, we had lunch with her.
Yeah.
Actually, then we had discussions with her how to, and we were we asked her to get links with their chambers,
Okay.
and they wanted to know what are the sectors we are representing, and we told them about gem industry.
Yeah.
And the present situation at Ratnapura. That's
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
That's all we shared, but we will have direct contacts with her in future. So
She's very good, you know, she's very friendly and, you know, very cooperating also.
yes. She spent around 3 hours with us. Yes.
I see. Yeah, okay. That's nice. At least, you know, out of that one, if some benefits goes to the regional chambers, I am happy.
Definitely, sir. Recently, they wanted to know the
This one. All right. Okay. Putlam chamber also they wanted to go there. it seems.
Yes, they said they want to go.
So that's a good outcome of this really. Then
Yes.
Sheila, can you put the status of the just give a brief intro. Yes. Yep. No, real amount only. No. Yeah. No. What is the item? Yeah, that is the one, you know, that's not liable, no? Since it's rapid, yeah. Given the theory, I make it. Oh, future. Yeah. නෑ අපේ monthly accounts වෙනම තියෙනවා. No, we are circulating the accounts to you. Yeah. We have sent you the accounts. About 600,000 expenses. Yeah. So in that sense, we need to have at least about. Yeah, but if we have a project or something going on, so that particular month we will not have a loss. If not, we will have about say 200,000 to 300,000 kind of a deficit. You know, that is the one, you know, that from those days I was telling, at least we should have minimum another 300,000 more in order to, you know, break even situation. So if we can break even, so then it's okay, but you know, you're not eating to your reserves and all that. So that is the one we have to do. But of course, you know, now we are bad in collecting regular revenue. Like what happens, this is what I was telling the country of origin certificates. You know, if we can, you know, sell country of origin certificates for 300,000, so then we are there. Simple as that. Now, this certification thing, that will bring us some money because 5,000, 10,000, 50,000 like that, you know, when the people register, that will bring some revenue. So those are the things that, you know, we have to do because we cannot expect, you know, one big event to do and out of that money to run. You know, that's little dangerous. If we can get small few projects and, you know, collect the money to run the association, then we are okay. So when we have a big event and if there's a surplus, then we can put it to 50% and, you know, make some income. So now what we do is the income we generate on those projects also go to settle the old debts, like accumulated ones. Like example, sitting here just Mr. Gopalan, you know, Mr. Gopalan was one of the easiest clients. We are not being paid. You know, I was fighting, we should pay him, because what happens is, I mean, kindness is not a weakness, no. So he have been, good enough, or always, supporting us. So that kind of a thinking that we should have, no. So that we have been doing now. That's why, we even try to settle whatever possible amounts. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kirti. Given the time limitation, I will very quickly go through the process. So this is just a small presentation in terms of the ongoing events, projects and meetings of FCCISL. Within about a couple of months, to be honest, it's very happy that we've been very efficient in terms of, because within about 2 months, October, November, since the inception of Mr. Kirti's presidency in early October. So within about 2 months, we have been able to do one big event, one project going on, and also about 15 high-level meetings. So within about 8 weeks or 8 to 10 weeks, we have done a lot, and it's very productive and efficient, especially October and November. When it comes to the events, on 18th of November 2022, we did, as you all know, Women Entrepreneurs Forum, which was amazingly successful. In terms of the participation, we got about 240 women entrepreneurs from from all districts, almost all districts of Sri Lanka. And we focused on the main thematic area was items of change. And under that, we had 3 sessions focusing on sub-thematic areas, covering challenges and opportunities, and then access to finance, e-commerce, and digital platforms. Focusing on those 3 sessions, we conducted panel discussions, and it was very successful. And Mr. Abbas, when he was presenting the strategic plan, was talking about the 7 pillars through entrepreneurship and policy advocacy. So this event is strictly in line with entrepreneurship pillar as well as policy advocacy, because at very high level we talked about the policy recommendations as well as ground level, the actual problems and issues that women entrepreneurs have been facing, and also the policy recommendations to overcome that can be implemented in line with all the stakeholders, government, private, and international organizations. And a little while ago, we've been talking about the finance cash flows. Dr. Gamage also mentioned something about the cash flows, and we need to about 600,000 monthly, and then these type of events we can use to fundraise during from this Women Entrepreneurs Forum. We have a profit of about 900,000. So that is for sure. We are getting 900,000 from Women Entrepreneurs Forum, which was successful. And we need to do another event coming up, that is to celebrate the 38th SARC Charter Day. So we have tentatively stipulated the date as the 23rd of December 2022. So that will also be a forum discussion with the diplomatic missions of the SARC countries based here in Sri Lanka. So that's gonna happen on 23rd. Tentatively, hopefully, we are working on it. And
Did we approve the date?
Not yet, actually, not yet. But we've been facing some problems in terms of booking the hotels as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And very important, under the leadership of Mr. Keith, we had several discussions with SARC Cultural Center as well, with the director. She's Professor Prashanti. Along with Mr. Kirti, we had Dr. Tissa and Dr. Rohit also. In collaboration with SARC Cultural Center, and also hopefully in collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism and Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So we're going to do the SARC Tourism Forum. So we have already drafted the concept note for the SARC Tourism Forum. So it's going to be a huge one, about 4 days, comprising of the main conference as well as the side events and parallel events. When it comes to the main conference, it's the SARC Tourism Ministers Congress, and then stakeholders of tourism meetings. And then we will have several side events as well, like cultural shows, the fashion shows. And then in parallelly, we're going to have SARC Tourism Trade Fair throughout the 4 days. That's a parallel event. And Dr. Rohit also suggested to have a golf tournament as well, SARC golf tournament. So it's going to be a very huge event. So that forum will be a very good opportunity for us to promote our tourism together with other SARC countries. And not only the SARC member states, we're going to get SARC observers as well, like European Union. When it comes to the observers, we have European Union, Australia, China, USA, South Korea, the big guys in the world. So I'm pretty sure we will be having an amazing event. This will be useful for us to raise a huge amount of funds as well. And then we have, based on the meeting with the Chamber of Tourism under Mr. Kirti's leadership, and so we got a proposal from RAK Chamber, that's Ras Al Khaimah Chamber, to organize. Yeah, Ras Al Khaimah Chamber to organize a Sri Lanka Trade Fair in United Arab Emirates, RAK. So it's going to be, they have confirmed the dates, 28th of July to 6th of August 2023. So we are in the process of drafting the concept note in collaboration with the Chamber of Tourism. So that will also be very, very useful to promote our exports, to promote our goods and services in the United Arab Emirates and globally, hopefully globally. Because we're going to have, we got the flow plan as well. According to the flow plan, we can have about over 200 stores for our Sri Lankan products in every sector. Regardless of the, I mean, we're going to have as many as sectors, many as stores for our Sri Lankan business community. So in terms of the events, this is the lineup. These are actually doing. I have mentioned only the actually done and actually in process events. When it comes to the projects, it's very important that we've been doing ILO FCCISL project in collaboration with NITA in terms of skills development of aspirant and returning migrant workers in hospitality sector through the work-based learning we have done. So this project focusing on skills development for the unskilled rural youth in remote districts like Jaffna, Batticaloa, and down south. So we have identified 8 districts. So we have already covered 4 districts and yet to cover 4 districts. So it's going on very nicely. And Mr. Indika is the focal point from FCCISL. He's doing an amazing work. And very recently we had we inaugurated the Batticaloa training session as well, Batticaloa and Kurunegala. So, and then we're gonna initiate the Jaffna training session as well, very soon, Kandy as well. So altogether we will cover 8 districts. So it's a relatively big project done in collaboration, funded by the ILO, International Labour Organization, and implemented in collaboration with NITA, that is a government organization, National Apprentice, yeah, NITA.
National Apprenticeship Association.
Yeah, and
Industry
Industrial
Training Authority.
Yes.
Training
National
Authority.
Apprentice Industrial
Training Authority. Thank you. And then we had a meeting with IFC as well, and we have already done a campaign, Together We Can campaign with International Finance Corporation under the Women in Work project. So with Ms. Kirti, under the leadership of Ms. Kirti, we had several meetings with IFC, International Finance Corporation, to embark on the next stages of the same project, and in order to embark on new areas as well under gender equality and women in work. So we need to, under this project, still we have to complete the inline survey. So hopefully we're going to start in January 2023 for the inline survey, and then after that we're going to embark on new areas as well. Talking about the International Finance Corporation, they helped us financially for Women Entrepreneurs Forum as well. Then Mr. Kirti already mentioned about the SOIG project, professional business coaching, and as he mentioned, 12th of this month, we're going to launch the initiative, and it's very important that we're gonna, under that project, we're gonna set up a permanent unit at FCCISL for business licensing. So that's also a very good permanent sustainable income generation model, as well as a service to the MSME sector. And then we had a meeting with the Ministry of Industries as well, focusing on Industry 4.0. So Mr. Kirti gonna like stipulate and implement a program focusing on the SME sector to convert them into the Industry 4.0 model. And it's still, the discussions are going on with the relevant stakeholders and the Ministry of Industries. And then, of course, we had in 2022 and 2021, we had the project of World Food Program with the World Food Program and Sun Business Network. That is the scaling up nutrition business network. It's basically the implementation of soft skills development in the SME sector project and building an SME consortium. So we have done to a great extent when it comes to the components of the project, but still to be done. There are several stages still to be completed. So we had a meeting with the WFP focal point, and hopefully by August 2023, we're gonna start the next stages. And so those are, I mean, that's why I mentioned it's very, very efficient. Within about 8 weeks, a couple of months, we have achieved a lot, I mean, to a great extent. And then we have with stakeholders, and Mr. Abbas also mentioning the policy advocacy. So in line with that, the strategic pillar under leadership of Mr. Kirti, we had several meetings, starting with ILO, we signed an MOU, and then ITA, we signed an MOU. Those are very fruitful meetings that we had. And then we had a meeting with the IFC, International Finance Corporation, to discuss about the next stages, how we're going to move forward with the in terms of their cooperation. And then we had, as I mentioned, meeting with the World Food Program and Sun Business Network to talk about the next stages of the ongoing projects and the new areas as well. And then we had the meeting with the Chamber of Tourism and Industry ASEAN, and we got several inputs in terms of the promoting the tourism sector. So actually, that's why we got the proposal from RAK Chamber as well to do the Sri Lankan trade fair in United Arab Emirates. And we had several meetings with Skills for Inclusive Growth to talk about the business coaching program, the licensing. Mr. Kirti already elaborated on it, so I don't want to mention it. Then we had a very fruitful lot of numerous meetings with the diplomatic missions based here in Sri Lanka. We started with the Turkish embassy on 9th November 2022, and then we had the meeting with the Indian High Commission, Deputy High Commissioner, and of course after that we had the meeting with the Ministry of Industries, and then meeting with the Royal Thai Embassy meeting with the Switzerland embassy, and then a meeting with the embassy of Indonesia, meeting with the Sri Lankan embassy, to Russia. Very recently, yesterday we had, and then we're gonna have the next meeting with the High Commission of South Africa. They mentioned the date 14th of December. So other directors also can take part as per the request of Mr. Kirti. And in addition, we had a meeting with International Trade Center as well. I had a very brief meeting with that focal point based in Geneva, ITC, and they were focusing on she trade initiative. So they are well aware of the fact that we have done the Women Entrepreneurs Forum, and we have some initiatives in terms of focusing on empowering women entrepreneurs. So they would like to, come up with some areas that we can do under their initiative as well. That is she trade initiative. That is also a good one. So we can further develop, and I will invite you as well for the future progress. So that's it. So as I mentioned, to sum up the things, so within about 2 months, we have over 15 high-level meetings and one big event, and also several projects going on. So it has been very efficient and productive 2 months, October and November. Thank you so much.
Not more numbers, less numbers, and
Yeah.
That's what I always like. I'm a productivity
man.
man.
So let's see.
People can do more turnout. This will be the best thing to do. So that we will do as and when we need people. So we will go in for that. Actually, I
Mr. Sena Pires, who is a lecturer at the Jawaharlal University, he will get some trainees to us. If the trainees are good, so that we can train them on separate areas and increase the salaries and the other incentives based on whatever the project area they do. Otherwise, we cannot sustain, because what happens if we try and increase very high salaries now, even as it is, I find this even in ICC. The guys are coming, they are going. So the thing is, it's not sustainable, because I suggested them those days, we didn't have, we had enough Khane income, all that. But of course, now again, with the Khane deposits, they have a lot of interest income coming, but they can. But only thing is these are the things that, you have to look at pros and cons. So, and, few other projects, I just, I got from various friends, I told many of my friends working abroad, tell me if there are any projects. Then some are, very, complex kind of stuff. I sent one to Mr. Sena Pires recently, just study that and see. If we can develop a proposal, please let us know, that we will develop together. But I told them, right now we can't pay any kind of, big prices for something like that. But if the projects comes through, then we can work as a team. They also can be a partner to that project, and we can see, some benefit goes to them. So that's the model that I'm thinking that we should work. Then I'll just indicate again important letters received and appointments from the to the other institution. That is one, we took it up already to get the approval to appoint Dr. Rohita. There is no any other special ones that I had to mention. Then we just included another item, status of the member issues for lobbying. So that is something that I sent mail to all the chambers. Some chambers already submitted the details, PTs and some still, some members has not sent anything. But anyway, there's another thing. So that yeah, that I sent. That is just to circulate only, because we are not doing anything with that one. They want to collect some information for research. Yeah, So that those we will help anyway. Now, if there are stakeholder, ILO request. Now, similar one, Mr. Senapir is the Engineers Association. So he, to support us, he did one program now that now some of the people who joined on the boot camp, they were there on that project. I went to that project, because the carbon footprint, carbon neutral, those things they've been taught, and they wanted to have another project. That is the one that I wanted to have here, but it didn't work. But still the project is going on, and for the people who has participated in our previous events are getting benefited. So that's something that they will appreciate. Now when I went for that Women Entrepreneur Forum, that girl came running and said, "Hi sir, how are you? Nice to see you," and all that. That shows that our initiatives, they have benefited immensely. But I realized that her business also got a lot of inputs from the sessions she took part, because if you're thinking of export business in the future, you need to be in green and carbon footprint and carbon credit and all those things you should know. Otherwise, you are not in the business. So that's something important. So anyway, we will. I will take it up at the next meeting. I'll summarize the things and give, because now I got from Batiklo Chamber. They were talking mostly about the kerosene shortage. When you see a diverse organization like ours, every sector will have different things. So this is what I want to know, because when they are not replying, so what can we do? We can take the horse to the vote only, no? We are not a chamber that we can press and send. You are not sending, we are doing anything like that. So only thing is, when you also go to your chambers, tell them, look here, when there is information is required by the FCCL, please send it, whatever it's worth. If we do something or we don't do something, still keep on sending, because the information is important for us. Now, what I thought was, the second round, if you're going to meet any of the embassies, then we can, we can say that we have a plan. We know identify the areas, and we know respective problems on those. Do you have any interest in addressing them? We can ask from them. Then, if that matches their mandate, they will say, yes, surely, we will try to do something in Jaffna. We will try to do something in Manna. So like that, they can come up. So now, that is my idea. But of course, the contribution was very little. Now, Association Printers has gone to all the individuals. Even I got a letter from them, the mail from them. The same thing I said came to me also. Then they said, please forward your concerns directly to FCCI. So that was very good. And, out of that one, I got Vijay newspapers. They were talking about the huge issues with regard to the power and the cost escalation on the raw material as well as the thing. And, on top of that, what is going to happen with the high taxes which they are going to impose, especially on the turnovers and all that. They are very worried, because newspapers has a bigger turnover, but the bottom lines are, they are right now, the current situation, they are making losses. That's how the newspapers are becoming small and small. Even for us to put a news release, there are hardly any space. Now, I spoke to Mr. itself, and I said, somehow put this one. This is very important for us, because this is the first time it's happening in Sri Lanka. So now it will come. So like that, now if we understand, then of course, certain solutions these embassies will have, especially like the Switzerland embassy. If we say we have a big newspaper company, they are finding these issues. You must be having the same issue in Switzerland, or do you have any kind of solutions? Probably they can need some bodies for technical support or some advice. It can be worthwhile for them to redefine their process or something like that. So that's the idea. Then with the item number 9, the agenda is legal matters. Samantha Vikrama. It's again coming up on the this month or next month. No? Next month. Under any other business, yes. But the only thing is, those also we are unnecessarily spending money, like about 50,000. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. No, he is also not benefited like me. He also has to pay the lawyer. No, I spoke to him. Only thing is like, I mean, his demands are too high. But we have to again. I'll talk again and see. Now that was at the start about Ruan's time. But that time to now, things has changed, and as you can see, actually, it's a useless thing for us and him both. Yeah. But anyway, now without a case also, it cannot go also. Then he's demanding his the position back as the Secretary General, or that you can't do no. Like, I mean, if we had proof that he has played out the money, how can we take that man? That's out of the question. Like, I mean, that's. I told him, look here. He said, you are a very nice gentleman. I said, no, but there is nothing called very nice. These are facts and figures. Like you been working there. Okay, what I want is to cancel this case. If you want, some lump sum money, tell me that figure. We will see whether we can pay. Because every month, then you're paying 50,000. If you pay 1 million and finish off also, we good no. So that's what I. Now he's demanding, that the salaries, like you made the salaries is that cannot, it is not possible. So let's see if there is any technical solution. I will talk to Nawaz Rajandin also and see if he's quite close working with him. He sent me congratulations notes, all that, and said, any help if you want, I will come and do for you. I will ask, can't you convince this guy? No, we will do that. What I thought was, like, I mean, if you are inviting the past presidents, we have to create some event and invite. No, otherwise, like, I mean, we are just inviting them also. No, that's what I shared the link that our website, our guys has done already something. Just take a look. I'm telling everyone. Can you hear me now? I think my voice I have reduced.
Can you?
Yeah. Now we were talking about the Samantha's case. We are unnecessarily spending money because the other next thing that we were discussing is what did you say, Thilan? No, like all the time we were explaining the Samantha's case and the expenditure. No? So that's one. The next thing is I had a meeting with meeting in the sense he called me. The Thailand Sri Lanka Business Council. He's very keen in working with us. When I sent the pictures and we had a discussion with the ambassador and all that, he said very good. That's good. Then he has showed our pictures to their members, and they have sparked the thing really well. I said okay to start. Let us know the exhibition and things like that what they have. He told me the same thing. We will collect, just check with the BMICH whether if we have any they have any exhibition calendar. If we have, we'll share with them so they can bring people here. We also can do the same thing. we will, I told him, you know, his key areas are agriculture. He said anyone into agriculture, but even the ambassador mentioned this very well, very clearly. Their agriculture is far, far superior to us because they have done so much research and development in the agriculture area. Schedule that to this to the liquid fertilizer, all kinds of things they have done. I have been in some of the areas in Thailand because I used to buy paper from Thailand sometime back. They have innovative products now, but the ambassador said was last year their revenue only on exporting durian was running to about millions. This is the kind of thing that they do. He asked the question why you all can do this in many lands, you know, which is abundant and, you know, nothing doing in central, the any provinces that we have so much land is not doing, no, rather than we try to do we have better things to do. Yeah, that he very clearly said, you know, we are not, if you guys have durian, the guys are waiting till the the fruit. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. No, that is true because in Thailand, durian is durian, toffee to durian, this thing to chips to anything. You know, that's how they have added so much value within durian. That's how they go to the airport and see how many durian products they have in different packages. So I think, you know, there is lots to learn for Sri Lanka. You know, like, I mean, we also can do many products like that. But I think, you know, we will get the connection there. Then yeah. No, we're trying to do that because we. Yeah. Can you all hear Dr. Gamage? He's speaking here.
I know I couldn't hear.
Yeah, computer. Dr. Gamage, can you speak a little louder? Otherwise, the others. Right. Now he was mentioning that we should get the information from the chambers and within our website. Similarly, they also should. Yes, we also should publicize our events.
මම කිව්වේ ඇත්තටම මේකයි. දැන් මම බැලුවම පහුගිය මාස දෙක තුල ඔබතුමාලගේ කියන්නේ මම දැක්ක ගොඩාක් ඉවෙන්ට්ස් තියෙනවා. අපිට තාම මේ ගියා. නමුත් මම ඩිරෙක්ටර් කෙනෙක් වුණාට පස්සේ මේක දන්නේ. දැන් ඊට පෙර බෝඩ් එකේ දීර්ඝ කාලයක් හිටියා. නමුත් මම දන්නේ නැහැ මේ වගේ දෙයක් මේ ආයතනයේ සිදු වෙනවා. ඒකට ඒකට හේතුව තමයි දැන් අපේ තියෙන ගෲප් තුනක්. අපේ තියෙන මෙම්බර් ගෲප් එකක් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ඩිරෙක්ටර්ස්ලා ගෲප් එකක් තියෙනවා. අපේ වෙබ් එක තියෙනවා. ඒ අපිට බයයි ඒවා පබ්ලිෂ් කරන්න. මම කියන්නේ අපිට එවුවොත් මෙන්න මේවා මේ ඉවෙන්ට් මේක පබ්ලිෂ් කරන්න. එතකොට හැම චේම්බර් එකක්ම දන්නවා ඔබතුමාලා මේ මොනවද කරන්නේ. අපිට තියෙන ලොකුම එකක් තමයි FCL එකට තියෙන රිලේෂන්ෂිප් එක අනිත් චේම්බර්ස් එක අඩුයි. හේතුව ඒගොල්ලෝ දන්නේ නැහැ මොනවද මේක සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ කියලා. පළවෙනි ප්‍රශ්නේ ඒකයි.
අර women on the platform ගොඩක් අය කිව්වා this is the first time that we got district chambers හරහා ගත්ත district wise මේ women participants ලා ඒකමයි 240 ආව central province එකෙන් candy chamber එකෙන් ගොඩක්
දැන් අනිත් එක ප්‍රශ්නේ අපි දැනට තියෙනවා
just not
දැන් අපි මේ ළඟදී article එකකින් අපේ වෙබ් එක launch කරා අපි දැන් කොහොම candy වල සියලුම ආයතන latest ඒවා තියෙනවා without any charging anything we are going to register all the entrepreneurs in the candidate. ඒගොල්ලෝගේ නාමාවලිය කරනවා. ඒක නාමාවලිය මේ අපි වෙද ගත්තොත් මේ මේගොල්ලෝ රෙජිස්ටර් කරනවා. මේගොල්ලෝ මේ අහවල් වර්ගෙන් කරනවා. මේ විදිහට අපි නාමාවලිය ඩෙවලොප් කරනවා. එතකොට අපි તો මෙහි එක්ස්පෝර්ටර් කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා කියමු. ඒ එක්ස්පෝර්ටර් කෙලින්ම අපේ චේම්බර් එකට ආවොත් කැන්ඩි ලිස්ට් එකේ කවුද මේ සබ්ජෙක්ට් එක කරන්නේ කියලා දැනගන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට අපි මෙම්බර්ස්ට විතරක් නෙවෙයි we are really helping both the society. Otherwise, we are interested on the member. Then only our real idea of the chamber never goes. So, but I do this type of relationship. You are not doing good job. But actually, even our director doesn't know. I know because you are sending everything. What I am telling is, what you all are doing must be sent to the other chambers. What other chambers are doing, they also send to you. So, අපි ඔයගොල්ලෝ වෙබ් එකට ගියාම අපිට බලා ගන්න පුළුවන් මේකේ කරනවා කියලා. එතකොට අපිට ගොඩක් අයිඩියා තියෙනවා. We can create
we will do that. Actually,
website as well. So if you
no,
can
no,
complete it,
what I want to is now, you know, now, once I have some input from yours, we will develop the site and we will link with Facebook, LinkedIn, all kinds of things. And do a fresh one. The thing is, you know, as it is, this website, I am maintaining it's very difficult for our guys also to do because they have put patches and all over and, you know, over the years. Now, for an example, if you say annual report, the annual reports of FCCIS, web search, you're getting a search from somewhere. And you know you're getting some annual, but it is not in the website. Now what I did was I searched from that one and I told our boys, you know, pick it up from there and put it to our site inside. Like I mean that's how it is done. You know, you have done it, you have abandoned it. You know, now I was trying to give it to Dr. Vijit. You know, I told one of my boys to, you know, take everything, you know, CCISL and put it to Google Drive. It's easier for you to take it from it. So when I was doing that exercise, I found this. So there is no point we tried, but anyway, now I told them, you know, to collect everything what is available with regard to FCCISL, old events, new events, everything, and keep it. So once we revamp the thing, so we can put it to some good headers and go ahead with that one. So then if we can do things like Facebook and all that. Now, if someone uploads something to the Facebook, our guys can pick it up from there and, you know, put it to the web also. So it's like, I mean, same platform, one platform can be used to, you know, run multiple ones.
I think can't hear now. Anyway.
Yeah, now I think Dr. Gamage is speaking. Now we will do this. Actually, he was talking about, you know, what things we can improve here. Do you all have any other ideas? You know, we'll take it and, you know, we can conclude the meeting. Actually, we can just speak to Dr. Gamage and see if he has, any new ideas. We will update you in the next time.
Yeah, I heard what he said. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can send-
Anything from Jaffna, madam? Do you have anything to share?
She's there.
Yeah, she's there. So nothing. So if there is any nothing else, can we conclude the meeting? And thank you for. I'm sorry that we took a little longer time because today we are talking about all our 3 important segments. That's why it took a long time. But I will ensure from next meeting we'll have time slots for each speaker and try to manage the time. And say maximum about 1.5 hours time to conclude the meeting. If we have any other things to discuss, so we have to, I think, take separate subcommittees and do the thing. So thank you for everyone for your support and the active participation.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you, President.
Bye.